Am I live? Hello. Hi. What's up, everyone? Welcome to my Wednesday night live stream. Today I will be working on Chapter 2 of Fiendish because I don't really have anything left to work on for the campaign. I finished a standee last week, and I don't really have a way to work on the the demon plaques. But before we get started, I guess I should show everyone what I'm talking about. So, as some of you know, I am currently creating my own creator-owned comic called Fiendish, and Chapter 1 is funding on Indiegogo right now. So if you want to find out more, you can go to fiendishcomic.com. It's FIENDISH comic.com. And I guess I'll show everyone the campaign before I start drawing, just real quick. So I was going to end the campaign like a week ago, but I have decided to extend the campaign by 30 days, which is great that Indiegogo lets you do that. So let's see. Oh, I started on time today. Isn't that amazing? Imagine that. Holy cow. Alrighty. So here is my campaign for Fiendish. Yay! It's the very first chapter of my comic, and the premise is a group of young men and women go on a journey of vengeance against otherworldly monsters. And if you like manga like Berserk or Vinland Saga, if you like monsters or fantasy, or if you play D&D, because I play a lot of D&D and it's very inspired by tabletop games. It's basically feels like a D&D campaign meets Lovecraft, meets, Berserk and a bunch of Norse and Slavic stuff, then you will love this comic. And I have a bunch of really cool rewards. I have, you go down. Ooh, yes, and it's very, also if you like gore, I enjoy drawing that kind of stuff. So here are some of the interior pages. And rewards include the book. You can get a couple of posters from me or a couple of the guest artists. And also I have a little demon standee, like this little acrylic standee of the demon that is in Chapter 1. If you like cute little standee toys, and that is one of the rewards. And I also have these wooden plaques that are handmade pyrography plaques. I have some over here. I need to show these off like every week because I'm like super proud of them. I'm so smooth. It's okay, I didn't break. I just dropped one. I'm the smoothest, everyone. So this is, I should make this bigger. Here we go. So these are the plaques that come with the highest tier of Indiegogo. So yeah, if any of that looks interesting to you, head over to Indiegogo and consider backing the campaign, or just, follow the website and follow Instagram at fiendish.comic, and you'll be able to see a lot of awesome stuff for that. So before I keep on talking for too long, let me actually get to work. So let's do that. I invited a couple people. I don't know if anyone is free to join today, but we shall see. We shall see how that goes. Alrighty. So there we go. So this is the first page of Chapter 2 of the comic. It's really rough right now. Actually, here's I have the first 3 pages open. I finished the thumbnails for all of Chapter 2 already. So Chapter 2 is, if you've seen like the previews of Chapter 1 that's on the website, you'll be able to tell Chapter 1 is much more actiony. It's pretty intense. It's about Casimir and Iskall, a couple of my leads running into a monster, and they're trying to track it down. They run into it, and they have to fight it off, and also save some members of a caravan that they ran into from the demon, but also some of the people in the caravan were killed. And Yomi, my girl character that is my focus on Chapter 2, she is one of the few survivors from the caravan. So Chapter 2 follows her, and she eventually joins Casimir and Iskall on their quest to find out where the monsters come from. So Chapter 2 is more like a little more chill than Chapter 1, but I think that works out pretty well, and I get to you know, explore the world building and everything. So that's real nice. And yeah, it takes place in town. I get to draw tons of buildings, which is fun, but it'll take absolutely forever. It will take forever. This is mostly done, but I think I will tighten up just a bit. So what I do is I have a really rough layer. I do my thumbnails on my sketchbook. So just real quick, I know the camera is small right now, but see? These are my thumbnails, and they're really rough, and they basically look like chicken scratch, and absolutely nobody but myself can read them. But I do my thumbnails really rough by hand in my sketchbook. My thoughts flow better that way, and then I'll transfer the rough of the thumbnail to Photoshop this way, like you see the light blue lines, and then the next layer I'm gonna do is the pencils. So that's what I'm gonna do next. Pencils. Pencils. And I used to pencil really, really tightly, but I'm getting better about it. So especially once you get used to drawing some characters, you don't feel the urge to pencil that tightly. So things just flow better, and once you get used to the look of a comic and everything. So that's what I like about, like, it's nice to be working on chapter 2 right now, because it definitely feels like everything is flowing a bit more, and I found the style for my comic, which was a huge problem at the beginning when I was starting to work on chapter 1. I think I redid like 8 of those pages just as I had so much trouble figuring out what the style would be, because it was, I've talked about this before, but it was kind of my journey to like refine my style. That's the reason I'm drawing this comic, because I feel like I was really pigeonholed into doing genres and styles that weren't really mine. For it's not, I mean, work is work, but at the same time I'm miserable if I don't get to draw in my own style, and I'm the type of artist where I want to be able to be the one that's making the ideas. I want to actually be creative, want to like have like my own style and everything. But for a lot of years, especially starting out, you kind of have to just pay the bills, and as young artists starting out, you kind of you just take whatever work you can get. And like I was too hung up on this advice I got in college, which was, oh, you should push back your style, and you should just be malleable, be able to mash in any style guide, and just to pay the bills. And I was like, well, I mean, yeah, paying the bills is important, but I was so miserable for so long, and I felt like I was so pigeonholed, and I was losing my style. I was seriously depressed for a long time. So, working on Fiendish was definitely like my journey to find what I originally really wanted to draw. And what I like is fantasy or sci-fi. I like, dark fantasy or sci-fi that is really detailed. I want to embrace my manga influence, because I'm from Taiwan and I have a manga influence. So I don't like, but I was also told, because, I went to art school in America, that you couldn't have a manga influence and nobody would hire you and whatever. And, in some ways that's still true. It depends on what kind of manga influence you have. Apparently, if you draw seinen manga, then they don't want you. They all want people who draw like shoujo, because they think if you have a manga style, then you just draw cutesy stuff. So, anyways, I'm not salty. I swear I'm not. But yeah, it took me a long time to kind of go back to the way I wanted to draw, and I think I found it, and it's really nice. But it's also kind of frustrating. And sometimes I look back and I'm just like, I'm glad I had, I experienced the things I experienced. But at the same time, I almost wish I didn't kind of waste 10 years, like just doing menial art monkey jobs and paying the bills. And then I had to go back and find my style again after all that time, So yeah. So what's happening in this page is, Yomi is in the shaman's house in Elstad after the demon attack, and the shaman is speaking to her, kind of telling her that well, most people on her caravan have died, and it's pretty traumatic for her, obviously. But the shaman is being pretty cold and unfeeling about it, especially because Yomi's a dev. She's, I don't know if you can see from here, she's a race that I made up for my story, and she kind of, devs are just kind of a, the name is from a Middle Eastern mythological creature, but I kind of put my own twist on this magical, or not magical, but this fantasy race, and they're purple or blue, and they have kind of elfy ears, but they also have a tail, and they're supposed to look a little more animalistic than humans. They have like fangs and everything, kind of like tieflings. So they're seen as lesser than humans in the society that I'm writing. And so the shaman doesn't really care. And usually devs are thralls to humans. So now that most of her companions have just been killed by this demon, Yomi is kind of left without anywhere to go in the world. So this chapter is following her as she's in this completely new town that she's never been to and trying to figure out where she wants to go in the world. So, I think as much as I love drawing action, it's nice to have some slower chapters where I want, the whole point of my first arc is I want the readers to get to know the characters, and I want to take things slow. It's about Casimir going back to his hometown and finding out where the demons, how the demons came about, how they were brought forth, and recovering his memories, because he has some degree of memory loss, like kind of half and half. He doesn't quite remember what happened, and he was the sole survivor of that monster attack, or that demon attack, so he's the only one who is able to go back and figure out what happened that day. So I want the first arc to be like more intimate, more character focused, and after the first arc that we can start with, well, the big conflicts and all the big fights and stuff. But I think that's a good way to approach things as well, because I think I should also ease myself into this project, because it is so high fantasy and there's so much world building going on. I want to be careful to not throw everything at myself and also at my readers. I want to sort of ease everybody into the world building. So I think that's a pretty good approach. Look at this face, the shaman face. So let me check the chat. Hello. I'm sorry, I haven't been checking the chat. StreamYard doesn't ping me when people message in the chat. El Gargoyle, hi. You're back with the eggplant. Alpha Proto, how are you doing? Thanks for joining us. Do I use custom brushes? I do, actually. Atreyu is green with blue hair. I don't know who Atreyu is. Well, Atreyu as in, the Japanese entity, but not Atreau. I don't know, but I don't know a lot of references because I'm a foreigner. I do use custom brushes. I have like a whole, I don't know if my brush settings are showing up right now on Photoshop, but if you can see my screen, I have like a whole folder of Fiendish brushes, and it's just mostly I use the brush that I have selected now, which is a graphite-ish brush, and I use that both for the lines and the eraser. So both, for the brush and the eraser, and I actually use the same brush from pencils all the way to inks. So I use this brush a lot, and the other brushes are mostly for effects. I have a lot of spatter brushes. This is a good spatter brush. Sometimes if I want to do texture, because I tend to put a lot of texture in my inks and I almost shade my inks a little bit. So these are my texturing brushes mostly. And this one is for if I want to do really thick, fat lines. But let me kind of blow this brush up so you can see. So there. You see, it's kind of this graphite-y feel. And it's got a kind of a frayed edge, which I really like, and it helps my lines have a little more life to them. It also feels more like drawing traditionally, which is nice. So I mean, I like working digital because it's just faster for me. You can correct mistakes better and just use reference and flip things around and all that. But I do like traditional art, and I like to my process is still very much like traditional art. So yeah, I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm not as digital artsy as a lot of other primarily digital artists, I guess. I don't really like using 3D models. I'd rather grid everything out in perspective is one thing, which drives some people insane. But I'm like, I'm pretty fast at gridding up perspective. I don't need to use a 3D model or SketchUp. I just want my brain to be in focused on my page. And I can do a grid. I can draw buildings. I don't have a problem with that. Why do I have to it just feels like it's better if I'm just focused on just drawing. I just want to draw, right? So what I'm saying is I don't use a lot of supplemental digital tools or whatever. But yeah, but a lot of comic artists work that way. Or maybe I'm just old. I'm set in my ways. I'm so old. Oh. I'm such a granny. Oh my gosh. Oh, the Neverending Story. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So I do remember that reference now, the Neverending Story. But I never saw the movie. Don't hate me. I am a foreigner. So, yeah, the Neverending Story. There are so many American classics that it's apparently American kids grow up with all these movies, and I just never saw them because I was watching other movies when I was growing up in Asia. And if I mentioned half of them, probably people here wouldn't know. Well, probably they would know because most of them were, Miyazaki movies. But yeah, I didn't move here till college, and I don't know. It's been this long journey of just all my friends trying to get me to see all the American movies to be like, you must be initiated into being real American. I was like, I am a real American. I'm a citizen. I just grew up outside of the country. So it's been fun. When I first moved here, the first day I was here, my family in Philadelphia sat me and I was like, you have to watch Die Hard. You need to see this. And then I came to college and people were like, you have to watch all these other movies. Yeah, this is not acceptable. I think I've seen most of the important ones. I am still working my way through Star Trek, but no, not Star Trek. I actually watched a lot of Star Trek, Star Wars. Sorry, blasphemy. I watched a lot of Star Trek Next Gen just because it was on TV really late and when I was in college. And we had this television. We didn't pay for cable, but the dude, I'm penciling this way too tightly. I could just use this as inks. You know what? It's fine because this is the first time this character shows up, and she's not a super important character, but her outfit is pretty detailed, so it's fine if I just pencil this a little more tightly than I normally would. So this is really tight pencils, probably a little unnecessarily tight. So let's see. I want to get for a really weird outfit. But yeah, I was saying, Star Trek was on, and also SVU. I've seen pretty much all of SVU up until probably 2011, which is when I graduated college. So, because it was just on TV, we didn't pay for the cable, but it was there. we were stealing the neighbor's cable, so there's a crappy old apartment that we crammed 6 college students into. It was fun. But yeah, I do have to watch Neverending Story. It'll happen someday. I can't decide what this thing around her neck should be. I guess it should be some sort of cloth. I didn't really think this through. When I sketched her, I was just shape language. So I was focusing on the shape language, but not really on what all the items would be. She's not a super important character, but the shamans are supposed to, look and dress differently than most normal people. So I do I'm really looking forward to that all the shamans play a really big part in my story. Shamans are the magic casters of my story. So and on this continent, they which is the northern continent, they the way to cast a magic is called rune casting. So they make like runes in the air and they cast magical effects that way, and it's really cool. I can't wait to start drawing it. But my shaman characters are kind of my wild, like, design whatever you want section of the story, because I have like most normal people just look pretty normal for, you know, the world that I've built. But shamans, they can just be really out there. They're like, I have so many crazy shaman characters. I have people that dress like birds, people that like mutilate themselves, and all shamans have tattoos on their faces. I haven't drawn it on this lady yet, but they're identifiable by tattoos on their faces that are part of their initiation. So it's really cool. I'm really proud of what I did with the shamans, and I can't wait to introduce the magic system either. It's gonna be so much fun. Is it symmetrical? Let me flip this to see if it's symmetrical. Oh, not bad. It's a little wonky. Sometimes if you're staring at something too long, it's hard to see if the drawing is, you know, is even. She's supposed to be a cranky old bee. This is not a nice lady. Brrr. I am angry. Brah. Paula Sarks, hello. What's up? What's up? Thank you for joining us. No, I will not. My English is perfect. Oh, well, my dad is from New York, so I grew up speaking English. Technically, English is like my third language, but that sounds like way more ooh than it actually is, because my first language is Hakka, which is it's a dialect of Chinese. I grew up in Taiwan, so that's the dialect that my family speaks. Then my second language is Mandarin Chinese, but like everyone in Taiwan, and it was like a lot of people in, you know, who grow up in the Sinosphere, which is like the Chinese-speaking world, are bilingual. Like everyone is raised bilingual. So you speak Mandarin and you speak your local dialect. So that's very normal. But I didn't start learning English till I was 4, but it was still pretty young. My dad's from New York, so he did this thing when I was little. I didn't want to learn English, so he would like only speak to me in English. Like, so he would force me to speak to him in English, and like so I would speak Chinese to my mom and English to my dad, and and I also went to American school growing up. So he made me speak English to him when I was starting in like preschool, and then later on I went to American school in Taiwan, which is a bilingual school with like, you know, for international kids, like expat kids, and I lived in an area that had a lot of. It was like the Silicon Valley area of Taiwan, so there were a lot of foreign companies, and oh, I could just draw one side and flip it. Why am I doing this? There are a lot of foreign companies setting up, you know, this Silicon Valley. So a lot of offices with a lot of foreigners working there. So they had a school there for like foreigners' kids and stuff. So, but yeah. And I didn't particularly enjoy the school because there were, I don't know. I mean, it's education in Asia. It's very restrictive and anti-creativity, and I absolutely hated school. But still, I learned English. So, yep. And that is why. But I've been told I'm pretty good with languages. I'm learning Japanese and Spanish right now, and I'm told my pronunciation is pretty good. It's just like I'm interested in languages. It's still hard to learn. It's not. It is really hard to pick up a language once you're older, but I'm trying. Yo aprendiendo. I'm trying. I'll just draw one side of these weird horns and flip it. Okay. I hope you guys can see my screen. I have my, let me turn the opacity for this layer up a bit. It's a little light, isn't it? There we go. I think I'll stream for, I don't know, maybe, this page is mostly done. I think I just have to work on the details of the shaman. So, like, see the rest of this whole area, I don't need to pencil that any tighter. Like, that's, I have the grid, I have the grids here, and Like you can't see it, but I did grid out all the lines here, so I can just start inking it like as it is. But the shaman's design, I want to get her design down, so that's why I'm doing some extra work on this. The rest of this page, I don't need to pencil it any further. Let's see, how should I do? I'll do these weird wrappy things. Oh no, the perspective is wrong. Should be like, because we're looking up at her. Right? We're looking up, so keep that. And these lines would be like this. Would it? Oh my god, what am I doing? This is a really weird angle. Yeah. These horns. No. No, they would still be. Yeah, they would still be like this. There we go. Oh, I need some water. No. Whew. I don't know what that thing on her forehead is. But, sure, whatever. It's just like a metal piece or something. Doesn't matter. Makes sense. Makes sense because I say it does. I am the master of this world. If I know nobody was really coming on, I would probably use Streamlabs because I have OBS. The only reason I'm using StreamYard is because I want to be able to talk to other people and chat and have a group chat. And I can't figure out a way to do a group chat in OBS. It's not as easy, but I have like a real nice setup in OBS with like background music and stuff. So, I can never decide which one to use because you can have all those settings and StreamYard, and I think you can import music and stuff, but you have to pay like $20 a month for the premium version of StreamYard, and it's kind of ridiculous. So I can't afford that. I wish I could like do more customization with these streams. All right, let's just copy this and put that. All right, and that's my neighbor's truck outside. If you hear like this low growling, it's a lot of fun. Very loud. Not annoying at all. Okay. Erase this. Whew. I am really glad I extended the campaign for Chapter 1 of Fiendish. So even though the campaign's hasn't been advancing much in the last week, I feel like that's kind of expected. I also haven't been promoting it much because I'm actually really swamped with freelance work right now. I have a lot of freelance, and the main assignment that I'm working on is due on Friday. So I just have to get that out of the way. That's what I have, a day job, and then I have freelance, and then I have my comic. I don't know what I was thinking. Wow. Money, that's what I was thinking. But I have this freelance job that's due Friday, and then after that I'd be able to promote, the comic more, and I'd like to do some more art streams. I think I'm doing another stream on the weekend just whenever I have time. But I'm still glad I extended the deadline for the Indiegogo, because then I have more time to show it off. And if we can get to 10K, remember everyone, if we get to 10K, the comic is going to be in full color. So I really want to get it to full color. I don't know if we can manage it because we're at like 6,000 right now, 6,300 or something. But I still want to try. So at least I have like another 20 days, 25 days or so to try that. So fingers crossed. Yeah. Fingers crossed. What should I do? What am I doing with this? I'm gonna give her these weird tassels for no reason. There we go. Doesn't need to make sense. It's fantasy. Nothing makes sense in fantasy. Sure. I just wanted something to fill the space over there. And then I had to draw her face tattoos, which is not easy because what I'm doing with the shaman's face tattoos is they are determined by their domain. So, I mean, I have a chart of like all the domains and the symbols that represent it, but I haven't figured out what her face tattoos are going to look like yet. So I'm going to work on that in a second. And the screen's over here, just to fill the space. It's like this weird funny collar piece. Like stitching like this. Sure, why not? Things don't need to make sense. They just have to look good. Yeah. All right. El Gargoyle asks, if I speak Mandarin, why not do tour translations? You've seen people in Vegas who escort Asian tourists around the strip? Well, I'm not in a really touristy area. I live near Atlanta. I have thought of doing translation work. So translation is basically my backup career. Like if like, I don't know, everything goes to shit and I just need, I wouldn't imagine, I don't know why, like if I ever need a backup career, if I just decide someday that I'm done doing art as a day job, I would never give up comics. I'd still be drawing my own comics, you know, but like if I just don't, I want like something different for a day job, like translation has always been my thing because I'm really into languages and I think I'm pretty decently good with languages. So I am natively fluent in Chinese. So that has always been my backup career. And I have done some translation work during college. As like a summer job, translating papers and stuff. So, and I have thought of doing translation. It's more of a backup thing. And also, I mean, usually you can just test to get, take a test to see your proficiency, but you can also get certified. I've been working on, considered getting certified with, for like your language level certification and all that stuff. But I've just been busy with our stuff. But yes, translation is certainly a thing that I have considered. Yeah, and I don't think my area would really have tour translations, and I don't really think I would enjoy that. Like, I don't think I would, have fun doing like, taking people around on the tour and showing them things. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of a huge introvert. I'm pretty socially functional for an introvert, but I am a comic artist. Like, I just like sitting in a room all day and staring at a computer and like reading things and drawing things. So, it sounds very tiring. You have to go around all day and talk to people and take them on a tour. So sounds rather irritating. Also, like if it wasn't COVID times, like I don't even know if they're doing that right now. Probably not. If the apocalypse hits tomorrow, then if the apocalypse hits tomorrow, either I would. Well, if it was apocalypse, then I don't know. Would translation still be a viable career? I don't know, but I've always thought crafting, because I'm good with crafts. I can do like woodworking and stuff, and I'm pretty good at building things. Or translation are like my practical fallbacks, right? So, yeah, that'd be practical. I think that looks pretty good. I feel I need something more. Let me add some dots over here, just for the sake of it. Dotty dots. Dot dot. Oh, okay. All right. Her face tattoos. Let's figure out what her face tattoos would be like. So she is. I don't think it matters what domain of magic she is. Okay, so I have not shown anybody my magic system yet, but I feel like since the few of you who are watching now on my tiny YouTube channel are so kind as to join me, I should show you all an exclusive sneak peek at what my magic system is. So let me open this up and show you all. Yay! Let's go. How do I open this in Photoshop? Why won't it let me open in Photoshop? Come on, Windows. Yay, there you go. Sim! Hey! What's up? Hey, I thought you were going to show up at 8, man. I'm just kidding. It's cool. Thank you. Alpha Proto says a translator would be crucial to peaceful transactions instead of straight up fighting for resources. Well, yeah. I can translate bargains between rival groups, sure. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Translating would still be a viable career if the apocalypse hits. So that would be my ultimate fallback. So yes, what I have on my screen right now is my magic system. This is the first time I've shown it publicly. So basically, my magic system is elemental based. So think kind of like Avatar, but it's like more advanced than that. It's like Avatar and then from Hunter x Hunter had a baby, but with runes. All right, so I'm really proud of it. I think it's really cool. So the way it works is all humans have an innate like biological ability to cast their auras, like just gather the auras that are sort of like this energy field surrounding them, and it's something unique to humans. So all conscious beings have an energy field, have an aura, but only humans are capable of manipulating their aura, and every human has a connection to, like a natural connection to one of these elemental planes. So like my world is a story, and my world concerns different planes and different planes of existence. So the plane that the story takes place in primarily is the plane of transience. So that is the plane where like things are born, live, and die. So that's why it's called the plane of transience. And you also have all the elemental planes, and then you have like astral, the celestial plane, and then the umbral. Well, no, you have still the celestial plane is the life plane, and then the umbral plane is the death plane. So you have the elements, then life and death. And then some people think there is another plane that is like the plane of the gods, but no one can access that from the plane of transience. So that's sort of just theoretical. And the mind domain here, I'm very bad at explaining this. I'm sorry. It's the first time I've explained this publicly. I'll get better at it. But basically, all the little circles you see here are different domains. And the mind domain is a universal domain, because the way the mind domain works is you just manipulate the aura of another person. So once a shaman learns to control their own aura and create effects with it, they can cast a rune on another person to affect their aura. So that's why the mind domain concerns effects like warding an area and sleep, like making someone go to sleep, or suggestion, like giving someone a suggestion and like kind of suggesting for their mind to have an opinion in a certain way. And also the way warding something is under the mind domain, because the way warding works is, hello.
Took me a while to find where you put the link.
Oh no. I need to have like a set place for this. I'm sorry. I'll just
share in the main Doodle and Chill group that we have. The main one where it's all the artists, so they all know and they can all jump in.
Yeah. Oh shit! Okay, you know what? I'll do that right now. Let me do that. Yeah, I posted it in, I think, I forgot which one I posted in. There's so many. I'm part of like so many.
Yeah, no, you put it in the morning rose. That's how I found it. Yep, no problem.
I'm in so many like art chats.
And
Yeah.
I'll put it in that one. I'll do it.
Okay, cool. Thank you. All right.
Boom.
Awesome. You are the best. So we are in the middle of I'm performing an exclusive reveal of my magic system. And I guess I got carried away on a long tangent because I was talking about like the shamans in my story. So not to get too into it. Okay, I kind of have to. I was talking about warding. Basically, the way warding works is you just you divert someone's attention away from an area. So that's why warding is under the mind domain. So I'm not going to go through and explain every single one of these effects. I really want to because I have so much world building information. I'm just like bursting at the seams. I want to talk about everything, but let's not do that. What I'm talking about, I just need the basics of how shamanism works. So basically, all humans have the ability to cast forth their auras, but that doesn't mean they're all by default shamans. It's actually very hard to become a shaman. So what the shamans in my story are, they're like a strict order. They're like a formal order of scholars. They're the scholars of my story, and they have like a center of learning, and you have like a master apprentice relationship. And what they do is find young people that have especially strong auras and are good at projecting their auras and are also intelligent. And then they find these young people and they become apprentices to master shamans, and they're trained, and it takes years and years of training because not only do the apprentices need to learn to cast forth their auras, they have to learn to write the correct runes. And I'm being like weirdly scientific about how casting works. So think about FMA, where the way you an alchemy circle to perform an alchemy effect, you have to draw an alchemy circle. Mm-hmm. That's the same way that runes work in my story. So it's elemental, but it's also like how alchemy works in FMA. So
it's a bit like the dwarf use runes in folk combat, and Warhammer and stuff like that. Everything's embedded with a rune, and it gives it a special ability and power.
No, not something, not like that. It's sort of like so what shamans have to do is they draw a rune, like a symbol, mm-hmm. but also they have to draw the mathematical calculations for the effect. Like, for example, okay. I'm like, I want to move this rock that is 2 meters away from me, 1 meter into the air. Like, you have to do those mathematical calculations and write that around, like, in the formation of an earth rune, and then cast it. So,
and if you miscalculate, you could crush somebody by mistake.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So that's why it takes years and years of training, and you have to be both talented, when you have to be good at projecting your aura, which not everybody is, and then you also have to be smart enough to learn the math.
So technically, the rune is the power, and the equation is the control.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. So that's how shamanism works in my world. And also,
cool.
So thank you. I'm very proud as I worked a long time on this. And then, so every human has a natural affinity to just one domain. So most humans, we'll figure it out. Some people have more, but they're very special. But the vast majority, like 99.99% of all shamans they have one primary domain. So for example, a life domain shaman their focus will be life domain, but they usually will also be able to cast in the two domains that are right next to them. So those are called their secondary domains. So on this domain chart, this is also how the planes in my world are sort of oriented. So you have your primary domain, but you also have resonance with the two other planes that are next to your primary domain. So like a life shaman, you can probably heal people and make plants grow. You'd also be able to cast water and earth runes. And then the other domains will be closed off, and they physically cannot access the other domains. So that's like a natural biological learned thing. So, and the mind domain is a universal domain because it's just controlling auras. It's not about your connection to like an elemental plane or anything. So yeah, there you go. I hope I explained that in a somewhat cohesive way. There's my exclusive reveal of my magic system. Yay, I'm so proud of it. Yay.
That shows how much work you put in there. Not only do you have a dialogue, but you have a very you have a complex way of using the abilities.
Yeah, it's pretty complex, and so I brought this up because the shamans all have tattoos on their faces to like as a mark of initiation, and I needed to figure out. I'm working on this first page of chapter 2, and this is a shaman character, and I had to figure out what her face tattoos are.
Hmm.
So I was looking at this chart to kind of figure out how I wanted to draw her tattoos because it can be like in the general shape of one of these, domain symbols, but I can like change the design a bit. But I think I'll make her a water domain. So there we go. Water domain is like this. So where should that go? It's a lot of fun. How have you been, Sim?
I'm doing good. Been working, and family life.
Right on, right on.
But yeah, I'm working on the last. I got 2 pages left to do on that Outlaw Night, and I'm working on to help a friend.
Oh, you're gonna be up all night working?
No, it's called Outlaw Night.
Oh, okay. Is that a frequent misunderstanding that you've had?
No, and
Oh, I'm
I'm
just stupid.
I'm also working on some other stuff for the Natverse
Right.
and waiting on the colors because I can't wait for my book to be printed and fulfilled.
Oh
But
yeah,
you cannot rush something that's coming out so good.
that's true.
Coloring takes time, right?
I know it does. Yes. Yeah, that's awesome. I can't wait to see it done.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Well, did I show you those pages?
I don't know if you've shown me. No. Let's take a look.
Hmm.
I cannot figure out how I want her to look. Oh, let's do this. I've seen like Ainu tattoos. Not Ainu tattoos. Ainu tattoos are like lip tattoos, but I've seen
Hmm.
actually Aborigine Taiwanese tribes do like face tattoos. So I've seen this pattern. So let's do that. It's a little thing. She has a beard. Cool. I think that works.
Yep.
She's not an important character, but I do want to like make it consistent that all the tattoos are consistent with their domain. All right. You were gonna share something. All right. Let's do
I
that.
am.
All right.
This is one
Oh
of
yeah.
the new page colored by Scotsman.
Cool. I like that moonlight effect. Yeah, so everybody watching, this is Sim's project, the Natverse, Tales
Yep.
from the Natverse. Check it out. It's pretty cool. It's real bloody, as you can see. Space and aliens and bloody mercenaries and stuff. It's fun.
Yep.
It's fun.
It's it's made to have fun, not to take too
Yes.
seriously.
Right on, right on. I like the character design for Mr. Nat there too.
Thank you. And a lot of people like the rose design. I don't know if you remember that one, the one that looks like a pirate with the pink hair.
Yeah. I remember that one. There's some good designs. I miss space stuff. I'm gonna go back to sci-fi someday.
That's one of the things that got me into all of this. Is I was a big heavy metal magazine fan.
Yeah.
So I love fantasy, space fantasy. So one of the first comic I did was called The Wolf Dragon, and that was a supernatural mixed with legend. So imagine the last surviving dragon born in human form, trained and raised by an immortal knight.
Interesting.
So it was kind of like, if you remember Gargoyle, when they did
Yes.
the world was every myth and legend, gods and everything was all there, all mixed. That's what I was doing with Wolf Dragon.
Yeah. Oh shit.
But then
That sounds
I get
awesome and like a lot of work.
and then I also got to the point I'm like, nobody's doing sci-fi anymore. Like good old sci-fi, like, and decided to go back to that.
Cool. Yeah, I actually started out mostly doing sci-fi. Like during college, I was kind of like the sci-fi person, but I don't know. I just never really figured out like a sci-fi story that would work in comic form. I actually have some science fiction ideas for video games that I'm starting to work on. That's like the side thing. But
Hmm.
in comics, it's always been, the ideas that came to me have always been like fantasy oriented. So it's just how it works out.
Yeah, me too. Until I realized what I wanted to do. That's what I'm saying. It's
Mhm.
episodal. Like it came to me because I started working on it for a series that I was working on in college. It was like final project type of thing for the graduation. So it was a simulation of a production of a trailer to try and get and that's how that was technically born. I was working on that, and it was the idea of having something that it was developed to be episodal, yeah. So technically, to be able to have one shot episodes. So that's one comic. So I'm
Right.
like, the guy's a merc. So any type of job can become a story. It can be 5 to 25 to 60 to 125 page if I want.
Right.
So that's
Is
what
it?
that's how I was all born, and then I mixed everything I love from Cowboy Bebop, like all the influence from like
Yes.
Firefly, Star Wars. I'm a big fan of Outlaw Star,
Yeah.
Trigun. So everything's in there, and a lot of like when people are like, "Why is it a merc?" What if you know what Black Lagoon is? This is the idea of a merc in space.
Yep.
They're like self contractors. So they're like the
Mercenary.
outlaw. Yeah, they're the outlaws
Yeah.
technically, right? They're the rebels. They're the
Black
guys that are like
Lagoon.
self contractors. Yeah.
Those are some good freaking influences.
Mm-hmm.
Trigun and Black Lagoon. Oh my god, I love this series.
Yep.
Good shit. Good shit.
Pop culture Avenger, heavy metal, great Mag Wrightson, Corbin, Mobius. Yep, there was Inki Bilal. There was the
Yes.
Meta Baron was in there, which is one of my all-time favorite comics.
The Meta Baron?
Yep,
I don't
with the
think I know that
Inkle.
one. Oh, the Inkle.
You know the Inkle?
I know the Inkle.
Meta Baron is technically the sequel to that book, which is telling you the story of the character that's the Meta Baron, the
Mhm.
guardian in there that's protecting the kid.
Mhm. Yeah, I read the Inkle. I know Meta Baron now that you mention and what it is, but I never read it. Just never came across it.
I really love it. It's one of my favorite. I have like three copies of it.
Oh wow.
I have the
I know
deluxe
you really
edition. I
like
have the
it.
collector's edition.
Right on. You can have
And
them all.
yeah, well, Jodorowsky is 92 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and Juan Jimenez passed away last year. Oh, yeah. So I kind of jump on that big deluxe edition that just came out, limited to 1,500 copies, and I got two.
Nice. That's gonna be worth a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You're collecting it because you want it. It's not just to sell
Yep.
it. Yeah,
Exactly.
that has just value beyond money.
There's one that's like that's not going anywhere ever, and the other one was like
Right.
I'm buying it just it's just a collector's item.
Yeah, I understand that. And that's one thing I really regret about having to move so much over the years, as I've been moving almost every year for like 11 years at this point. It's been absolutely insane, and I haven't been able to hold on to collector's items. I haven't been able to collect anything and like have like a nice art collection and have original art from other people. It's been sad, but I want to try. I need to start building up that arsenal.
I have to admit it's been something that's been in my mind since all of this and thinking of maybe moving to the U.S. or something. Because there was discussion because of opening a studio, and I'm like,
Ooh,
that
that would
means
be
like
cool.
I would have to bring everything, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna rent the truck, and it's just gonna be for my collectibles and computer, selling everything else.
Well, don't you? You can just put your stuff into storage because I move internationally as well, and I understand the pain. So
Hmm.
you can put it into storage. Don't you have like maybe family you can just dump all your shit with and be like, bye. That works too.
You go pick it up if you want it. I'm gone.
But yeah, put it in storage. Don't sell all your collectibles, man. That would
No,
suck.
no, that's what I said. I'm not gonna sell the collectibles. You put that in the truck and you drive to
Right.
the U.S. You sell all the rest though, like
Right.
bed, furniture.
Yeah, yeah. That's just stuff. You don't need that. That's stuff.
The truck's filled with just books, collectibles, computer, and
Right.
art
Normal
stuff.
people are like this. Their U-Haul is filled with furniture and actual household items, and like you just have books in there, books and toys,
Hmm.
as it should be. I remember when I moved to, well, when I made like a couple. Mostly I've been moving around within states, but once I did a big move from Georgia to Texas, and then another time I moved to Taiwan. I shipped all my stuff there, and then I moved back to the states a couple years later. And I thought I would be able to go back for my stuff, but then COVID hit, so most of my stuff is like in Taiwan actually. So
Hmm.
it's kind of sad, but at least I have family there, so I just like dumped it with them. But most of my stuff, I mean, when I was shipping all my crap, like all the way halfway across the world to Taiwan, which is really expensive. I'm never going to do that again. But I couldn't throw it away because I didn't have like a lot of collectibles, but I did have comics, like hard copy comics. I was like, I can't throw it away. I had like 10 boxes of books. And I had this drawing table that I really loved and like clothes and nothing else. And like the people who were moving for me were just like, where's your furniture? I was like, I don't have furniture. I've been sleeping on the floor. Like the only furniture I care about is my drawing table. And the only things I need to keep are my art books and my comics. And they're like, who are you? Why are you so weird? What planet are you from? That was great.
You have Alpha Proto going. I'm learning towards fantasy drawing, so I won't have to draw buildings. I'll just put abstract trees and mountains and bushes in the background. Like, this
You know,
eyeball into
not
perspective.
gonna lie, it is like much easier just like blob a bunch of trees and you don't have to keep track of which tree is where, just like
But
blob.
I
So
thought it was funny, and I went to get this. Look at one of the fantasy art I did for one of my friends' campaign.
that's what? Oh, let me see. Oh, yeah, yeah. Look, just trees, trees
Yeah, a
everywhere.
whole bunch of trees.
Yep, it is. It is much easier.
And here you have like a woman warrior dwarf.
Yep, all trees.
Yep.
That's the same with like chapter 1 of Fiendish. I was like, well, what took forever was like boarding out the action and everything, but let me see. But like the backgrounds took so little time, and I know that the next chapter is going to be the complete opposite because it takes place in town and it's going to be all buildings and stuff. But unlike a lot of artists, I like drawing backgrounds. I'm weird. I really like doing
You're weird.
buildings. Like, yeah, I like it. It's its own character, and I like doing all the details. But it does take absolutely forever.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't mind drawing backgrounds, right? It's just the fact that you get either too carried away that you draw too many details. The only thing I don't like to draw is buildings. And the only thing that I found a way around it is I do not use rulers most of the time. I use maybe like one ruler to give me the direction, like a straight line, and I freehand it because
Right.
I don't know. I kind of noticed that if you do two straight backgrounds like buildings, there's no buildings that are straight, and it creates an uncanny valley.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Hmm.
So this is one page from chapter 1. So guys, yeah, I
Yeah,
might be crazy.
yeah,
Can zoom all the way in.
sweetie, we don't say crazy, we say passionate.
Okay, thank you. I'm passionate. I'm passionate.
Passionate about your craft and your story.
Yes. I need to like not do this again because it really just takes too long. But look at the other background, just like trees and mountains. This
He's
was
like
so easy.
Derek Canyon. He's laughing, going Bob Ross inspired. Happy trees.
Happy trees. Happy trees. Happy monster. Happy trees.
That
Yup.
monster doesn't look happy, but he might. The monster might be happy.
It might be. You just can't tell. We're just judging. We're being too judgmental.
You're right.
Yeah. I think it's a happy
He's trying to kiss him, so maybe he's just happy to see him.
Yes, it is. We've established that the monster just wants to hug everybody,
Mm-hmm.
and just because everybody resists, that they just end up getting killed because they won't let the monster just hug them. It's simple.
If they would just give them love.
Yes, all the monster wants is love. That's all he needs. Why does this light make me look like a freaking ghost? Let me. Okay. I was like lighting up the screen like a freaking lantern over here. But yeah, so chapter 2 is going to be all buildings. Let me see. Page 2, page 3. I don't have that much roughed out, but it all takes place in town. And I'm like really looking forward to it because we get to go around different parts of town and it's all buildings. And I can't wait to do the architecture because like I've been studying different types of architecture and it's going to be like Norse architecture mixed with Slavic architecture. And I think it's really cool because even though it's fantasy, not a lot of people do Slavic influenced fantasy. So that's something new that I feel like I can inject in things. And it's like, I'm really excited to draw it, but I just don't know how long this will take and how many nights I will have to stay up with no sleep. It'll be great. It'll be worth it though.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be worth it. Yeah, did I tell you about, I don't remember because we nerded out about anime on the last couple of chats we were on, but the comic that made me stop being afraid of drawing backgrounds was this super far-futuristic science fiction manga called Blame. Do you know that one?
Yep.
No? I feel like we've talked about this before, but I can't remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that one, I still like, there's another, so I'm working on a sci-fi science fiction idea, like the other idea that that I have right now, it's for a video game and it's very influenced by Blame. So it's basically like H.P. Lovecraft meets Blame and it's going to be a lot of fun, but still in production, so I won't talk too much about it, but oops. But yeah, like that comic changed my life. No spoilers. I will not be spoiling anything.
Oh no, man, I think, I don't know. I think maybe it's European comics. And I think it's Loisel. One of the ones that, I don't know if you know who Loisel is. He did the mature Peter Pan story that everybody. That's the one that he's most famous from. Or what is it? Hold on. What's the French title? The Quest for the Blue Bird.
No, I don't know that one. Should be ashamed of myself.
I don't know.
Alphabetto asks, do you plan out your cities and interiors for continuity or just draw them as you go? I do plan out my interiors. For this room that I'm working on, it's not super important. It's just a room in the shaman's house, or in the shaman's, the main temple of Alstad. The town is called Alstad. So I just drew like this room and the first in page 1, and then on the subsequent pages, I just follow the layout that I established. So I didn't do like a proper layout drawing for this room because it's only going to show it for like the next 3 pages and 3 or 4 pages and it's over. But for, let me see if I have it on my computer. For locations that I will be going back to often, I do layouts. Let me see. Yes, I do have it. All right. Here's another exclusive look at something that hasn't shown up in the comic yet. This is like chicken scratch, and it looks like shit, but you can still tell it's a layout drawing. So I have to like clean this up and make it clear. But this is a blueprint for another building that the characters will be going to, and we will be going, going back and spending like a couple whole chapters there. So it's very important to get the layout for this right. So you see, I've like planned everything out, and I actually have been talking to some people who do 3D modeling, and I might be, excuse me, getting someone to do like a rough block out of this house and a couple other important locations, just so I always get like the perspective and the objects and the furniture right. So yes, I do plan out my environments, and I'm pretty serious about it. Yeah.
Me, it's Mobius and that guy. Look at this. Look at my screen for a sec.
Let's see.
Why'd you kick me out?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I thought you were sharing it.
No, you have to share my camera. I'm showing you on my cam. I took the book out.
How do I do this? Guys, I'm so sorry.
You click on the little square in it. You see my icon?
Solo
There you go.
layout. There we go. Oh, that is so pretty. Oh my gosh. That is so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little pixelated on the screen, but it looks great. Oh, so pretty.
Yep.
Who is this guy?
That his name is Loisel. He's a French.
So,
It's a French guy, and the name of the book is The Quest for the Blue Bird, and he did Peter Pan, the thing that inspired Hook.
right on.
He's the one that did the original retelling of Peter Pan older.
Yeah, I gotta read that.
Sorry, my kids came to say good night at the same time.
Oh no, it's fine. I saw like an arm in the
Yeah.
corner. So. Nice Sims kids.
And by the way, my older girl, the one that's an artist,
Mhm.
the one you remind me of. I showed your book. She went all giddy.
Oh yeah! Oh my
She's like,
gosh!
I'll show you some of our art soon.
Yeah, you gotta. I think you did show me something she drew last time.
Yeah, but
And,
more recent. Yeah.
Yeah, you said she has a lot of trouble being like showing her art to people. She's not confident about it.
She's been working on her comic book for 3 years now.
Ooh,
She has characters. It's about magic and fighters and cyborgs and everything.
nice. That sounds awesome. Oh
And
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, keep at it. That's awesome. I love seeing young people who are passionate about art and especially comics. I mean, it sounds cheesy to say, but like I really mean it because I was not encouraged from doing this. So I'm just like, oh, it's so great that she gets to be like have support doing this. And that's great. That's great. I hope she sticks to it.
Oh, she does. No, she does, and she does traditional and digital art.
Nice.
Yep.
Is she thinking of being professionally
Yep. She already did 2 contracts on 2 independent comics.
Awesome.
Like a year and a half ago. She did coloring for 1 cover and 1 print.
That is really cool.
I don't know if there's some people that could remember a campaign that was called the Extractors. There was a chibi poster in there, and she was the one that colored it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
When she was 13.
Dang, you got a prodigy on your hands over there.
Yeah, she's gonna be 15 in a week or 2.
Dang, it's gonna go places.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
But you have to protect them too.
Protect them.
Yeah, they're still young, and you have to
That's
protect
true.
them from the web and stuff. And
Yeah, from people. Well, like bad contracts and people like trying to rip them off, and
yep.
those kinds of experiences.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
And I'm still working on her confidence to show her stuff to everybody.
Mm-hmm. Let's just take time.
Mm-hmm.
I understand it's hard.
And I think it's funny because she gets all like giddy when she's talking about her art and when she's showing it, and she has those twerks, the arms going from side to side and this like that, and that little tweak of voice, just like you.
What? No. Okay. I'm easily excited.
So is she. It's a good thing, don't.
Okay.
Yeah, don't post on DeviantArt. Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah, that's where I started out posting. But I had like no parental supervision. Like it's a miracle I turned out sane. I was reading so my interest in like prehistory and early ancient civilizations started when well, I've also always kind of liked it. I had some like illustrated children's books about like ancient civilizations that I really loved, and so I grew up with that. But what really started my interest in prehistory and that kind of story was like if you know the Clan of the Cave Bear books, it's this book series about people living in prehistoric Europe, and it's very explicit and it's very violent. And I was reading these when I was like 12 or 13. I had no parental supervision, so I turned out okay-ish.
Yeah, me, it's not about parental as much parental supervision. Like make them watch horror. Like she's into horror movies. She loves to play like those what's the name, Dead Dead by Day, Dead by Night, whatever. Like where you're a serial killer from the movies type of thing, like Jason and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like she's
Well,
big into horror movies. That's not it. What I mean is protecting more about what they can find that's not appropriate at all.
that's true. Well, also, what
And
nowadays is like people on the internet,
yep,
like creepy people. No, that's
precisely.
definitely a concern. And the internet is a filthy place. Yeah, DeviantArt. Oh my god. I still have mine, but I just update it like once every, year or something.
I think I haven't touched it in years.
I hold on to my zombie account just so nobody else will take the name.
I was on ArtStation too for a while.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I like the layout of ArtStation, but it's never really helped me get connections, so I kind of just, sure, I'll keep it. It's a pretty portfolio gallery, but it doesn't
Uh,
help me.
and I just reopened an Instagram not too long ago.
Instagram is good, at least in my experience.
Yeah, I'm liking it. I just don't usually use my phone that much. Like my phone is one of the things that I throw at the side of the room.
Right, yeah, I remember you mentioned that.
It's like
Um,
if it doesn't ring, I don't really give a damn
yeah.
unless I go out.
Mhm. Yeah, it is very phone based, but it's like, the youngins are all like conjoined to their
Yeah,
phone, so
but
Instagram is really good for advertisement.
I'm one of the guys that when I was younger, the alarm got triggered in my head when there's nothing good to watch and you keep flipping through the channels, looking, hoping for something interesting, and you're there. What the fuck am I doing? And that stuck in my head for the rest of my life. I'm like, I'm not doing that ever again. I'm gonna
Yep.
get. I'd rather get to work. Yeah.
Yep. Well, my parents thought cable TV they didn't think it was evil, but they were just like, this is a waste of time. So I didn't have cable TV growing up.
Hmm.
It was like, you will study. I mean, I grew up in Asia too, so that's why. All the stereotypes are true. So, yeah.
What?
What? So it was literally like we got off school at like 4:30 or 5, and I got home, and it was like, no, I wouldn't get home after school. I go to more classes after school, and then I get home at like 8, and then it was homework, and then that was my life. So that's why when I was old enough, like my only form of rebellion was instead of going to the library, I would like tell my parents, "Oh, I'm going to study," and then I'd go to the manga bookstore because it was like before the internet too. So we didn't have internet either, so I could just my only escape was the manga store, and that's where I went.
Mm-hmm.
So comics like saved my sanity, and that's why I'm so fixated on it.
Me too. Yeah, you could say that. Me, it's discovering comic books and anime. Like I discovered anime before mangas because it was harder to get mangas here than anime.
Right.
I'm sure you know that. Since I'm in the French part of Canada in Quebec,
Mm-hmm.
and France are a big customers of anime more than manga back then, since
Mm-hmm.
the 80s and stuff like that. So that it was always accessible to us here to have anime, and that's how I discovered like the first Akira, not Appleseed,
Mm-hmm.
right? Battle Angel Alita. Remember the
Right.
original OVA?
Yes.
And all that stuff early, like Ninja Scroll, and I'm like, holy crap! And
Dude.
that kind of opened my mind. Like I'm telling you, like I was already lucky to be exposed to like European comics and comic books, and then the anime world, and then I'm like, there's comics of this shit. Where are they?
What?
Like, where the hell are they? And
That's
we
so
would.
crazy.
It was really hard to get here until Dark Horse
Yeah.
brought Akira.
Same with America.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't grow up in America, but it seemed like anime came here before manga, and most people were, it was like they got anime through like a couple of, it was, pirating DVDs
Mm-hmm.
back in the day, and most
But
people just were able to watch anime, but the manga came later.
as a kid, the cartoons that I grew up watching, right, was Gotcha Men, Grandizer, and Captain Harlock. 3 mangas. This is pretty much what I remember. Like I was a
Gotcha.
kid watching those cartoons, and that was before the Transformers, before like GI Joes. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I used to watch. There
Mm-hmm.
was also like a few other like what is it, Captain Ulysses? Oh, do you remember Captain Future?
No, I don't know that
And me, I knew him under Captain Flam,
one.
but he
Flam.
had it's a guy that had a bit of a suit that looks a bit like Iron Man, right? He was I think he was a space guy. He had a robot next to him, like his name was I don't remember his name, and he had Simon that was like a brain in a floating little thing next to him,
Huh. I might
and
have
that.
seen, like, I know of it, but I haven't watched it before.
But this is what I was watching as a kid, and
Mhm.
this is pretty much what opened my eyes to when I discovered anime movies. I
Mind
was like,
blown.
what? No, Ninja Scroll was awesome. Still to this day, I love watching that. Oh, dude,
Yeah, such
I
an old
watched.
school anime.
Did you end up watching Redline?
Not yet.
Damn it!
No, I'm waiting to watch it with my boyfriend. There's a reason, because I told him about it. So we have to watch it together. So, but I'm gonna watch it. Like, you don't understand. I can't wait. It looks so good.
It is freaking awesome.
Yeah, it's
And
the art style. It's like
mhm,
the Animatrix meets Cowboy Bebop meets like something else crazy, like
mhm.
JoJo's or something. So I don't even care if there's a plot. Like, I just want to see it for the art. It's so creative.
And people in the chat, if you don't know what we're talking about, it's Redline. It's the animated movie. Go check it out.
Headline, yes. Racing and dog people.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I joke like in a way of comparison to joke around. I kind of like to say like imagine if they tried to do Speed Racer but heavy metal style
Nice. Yeah, that seems like what it is from
because
the.
there's fighting, there's weapons and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. It's like a little bit heavy metal, a little bit bebop, and but also um, like the exaggerated animation, like the push
Yeah,
perspective. That reminds me of a lot
and
of
the
like
goddamn
anime.
soundtrack, right? That intro I
Yes.
mentioned.
Yeah, we watched the intro last time. Oh my god! It's so cool. It looks so cool. Yes, I am going to watch it. I can't wait.
You're still gonna geek out with your boyfriend,
I will. I'm gonna lose my mind. We have to watch it 5 more times.
and then we have to do a stream just to talk about it.
We will. Let's be like, I need to go on a stream right now. Just nerd out about this movie. It'll just be
Dude,
like
Derek,
screaming the whole
even
time.
Derek Canyon agrees with me. Redline, very speed racer for grown-ups. Yep.
Yes, that sounds awesome. It is on the list for what happens soon. I've just been really, really busy. Like I mentioned, I've been like buried in freelance.
And the other one I was telling you about was what was it? No, Straight Jacket.
Straight jacket.
One. I'll try and find you the trailer of that one.
Yeah, there's so many things I have to watch.
That one was the one I was telling you that was like I was going to one of the, you're walking down the street and you see one of those little like stores open, getting rid of DVDs because Blockbuster was closing. Everybody was buying them out, so they were renting a little space somewhere, and liquidation of DVDs.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, they have anime. I'm like, okay, I'll go check the bin, and I'm like, Straight Jacket, $3. Okay, grab a few things. It became one of my favorites.
Dude. Don't you love those like chance finds like that?
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Straight jacket. I haven't even heard of that one before, so crazy. Whoop.
I'm trying to find the trailer.
Okay. Is it Redline is free to watch on YouTube with ads? I don't know. I know it's on Amazon. So if it's free to watch on YouTube, I'll watch some ads. I don't mind because I don't have Amazon.
I bought the Blu-ray.
Ashley asks, "Am I on Artful?" No, I'm not. I think I have a Behance that I haven't updated in like a year, but I have ArtStation, DeviantArt, all the social media platforms. I don't have Artful, but I'll look into it. It's an art thing. Is it like good? Is it useful? Like, does it get you eyes? So far, Instagram and Twitter has been really good for me, but it's good to branch out. I have another website I have to update constantly.
There you go, found one.
Oh, let me see. All right, let's go. Wow. What is that?
I'm telling you, everybody, it's a mix of they use a mix of science and alchemy, and the more you use it, if the protection go bad, you can transform into this, and then you have them coming in.
Holy crap. I love the body horror.
But what I love is the incantation they have to say before they shoot. They activate different powers.
Oh my
So
God.
they use a rune and an incantation, and then exist. Boom. I'll pick one.
It's like FMA but more detailed.
Let me just hold on. Let me try and find another trailer that actually talks of it instead of just.
I don't super like the faces, but I like the monster, like the gore. Like when they showed the deformed, figure and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I also just like alchemy stuff. But yeah, the faces aren't really my style.
But that's the same.
Ashley says, Artful is like Instagram, but artist focused. Okay, cool. I will check it out.
See what I mean?
Interesting. Should drop it.
It's still the same thing. I just want to show you how when you use this power, at least on. There you go.
A brave lady. Like you know anything about me. What the hell? Might as well do what the lady says and do some of that hard living or something. I'll have to use an illegal spell, though. Hope you understand. I challenge the laws of nature and reason by summoning the power that is forbidden. Accelerator. Exist! Get out of my way!
Yeah, it's the guy that did Spike.
Huh! Good ear.
Accelerator? He's insane!
See all the alchemy sign calculation.
Is it like real set hard magic system though? Does it like all make sense?
Yeah.
So it's just like magic shit happens.
You have different. You'll see. That one's different. See.
I challenge the laws of nature and reason by summoning the power of destruction. Time. Keepa. Magnet Blast! Excel!
But they don't get into details like you do with every sign and what they mean. But you get the idea.
Right. It is still alchemy. Well, I do.
Yeah.
What I do appreciate is I like the gore, and I mean, yes, as Derek says, there's gore, and I'm in. That's not technically true, but those were, I liked his monster designs. That was pretty sweet. Yeah. So, it's research. It's for research purposes for my own comic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Clearly, that's what it's for. I'll see if I can check that out. I don't know where I'd be able to get it though. Probably buried somewhere deep on YouTube, I'm sure.
It's available on YouTube.
Cool.
It's an hour or something.
Oh, it's a movie?
Yeah.
Okay. That's doable. It's much more doable than series.
Told you I prefer movies than series.
I don't have time to watch series anymore.
Like I like Trigun the series, right? But I prefer rewatching the movie once in a while.
Right on. Yeah, that's why I prefer OVAs, or I appreciate them so much. It's like now that I don't have time to sit there and watch an entire series, it's like OVAs and movies. All right, we're good.
Mm-hmm. Like the only one that I'm still stuck rewatching once in a while, it's Black Lagoon, those classic.
Yeah.
They never made a movie. Like, make a freaking movie.
No, it was never that popular,
Yeah, because they dealt with really dark subject that nobody wanted to really touch. Like, they touched with really black market stuff, and
Yeah, it was really dark, but I like that kind of shit, man.
Yeah, dude, that freaking
It was
I'm sorry,
really, and it was like well done darkness. It wasn't just like I'm being edgy. It was like a good story around it, like the really fucked up shit.
With the two twins. That was fucked up.
Yes, and
especially the finale. Hey, bye.
Yeah. The twins, and I said this even the Japan arc with the Yakuza. It wasn't like as fucked up, but like the story and the character arc it was really intriguing. And it's so sad.
Roberta's Revenge or something. That was pretty.
Oh
sweet.
yeah, the murder maids.
Yeah,
I mean, that's more of a meme than anything, but like the murder maid, and you have the murder Chinese girl. I love how, so
the Chinese girls are so fucking amazing.
It's amazing.
The relationship between her and Rev, the love and hate.
All of them, like
yeah.
when they all team up together, it's like Roberta, the murder Chinese girl, and then Rev, and they're all fighting. And there's like the murder nun as well. I'm just like, this is my favorite anime ever. It was so good. Ugh.
Oh, dude, Rev is one of my favorite. Her and Dunan, the original Dunan, not the one that's like I always like. But she was a badass, and and then you have her Rev. I'm like, holy crap!
Yeah, Rev is freaking great.
Two-hand Rev.
Such a good freaking series.
One of my favorite scenes is when she's like, when she's trying to stop the boat. Now give them a warning. She grabs a grenade launcher, right in the front.
Oh yeah, she's a treasure.
Give them a warning not to blow them up. Well, they stop.
She's a treasure. Man, the characters were so good too. Oh no, I appreciate that series.
And the relationship between her and what's his name again?
Which one?
The office guy.
Oh, Rock.
Yeah. That relationship that develops, it's freaking awesome. At the end,
Yeah.
you're like, okay, yeah, they're made. They're pretty much made to be together now.
Pretty much. I love how his character changes too. It's so well written.
Mm-hmm. Her too.
Yes.
I think like somebody asked me like, why do you like her about so much? I'm like, dude, I don't know. She's so freaking badass, and the only thing that I can compare her to is like she's like Wolverine or Riggs. Remember Riggs in the Lethal Weapon
No, I don't know
movies?
that one.
It was Mel Gibson back then.
Mm.
And that's pretty much the same type of guy. The guy that has technically like a suicide, like he's just willing to freaking die. He just, she's so freaking
Yep.
great.
She's just suicidally violent, but also impressively good at what she does, which is killing things. It's amazing.
Dude, that scene in the bowling alley.
Yeah. There's so many good scenes. Oh, and that Russian mobster, Balalaika. I love that they made her the Russian mobster.
Yep.
Such a good character. They're all good characters. That's it. Rewatch that thing.
Mm-hmm.
It just sucks that, I meet so many people who like darker stories, but it just seems like it's probably like streaming platforms and like companies and translation companies don't promote those kind of things because it's like we want to appeal to kids, but it's like, but people like the kind of stuff like Black Lagoon and like Flame and Ghost in the Shell. Like, just let these stories be raw. I don't think it's because people don't like them. I don't think there's no audience. I think it's just because these companies don't put them out there. I have thoughts about this, but
the first manga I bought was Appleseed,
nice.
and I still own the same copies.
I saw those movies that you probably hate, but I never saw the manga.
I probably hate.
Probably do. The movies were not bad, but I'm sure the manga's better. Perspective is all wrong. What am I doing? Yeah, the first Shiro work. Actually, I didn't. For some reason, come across his manga. So the first thing by him I saw was the 2000s animated Ghost in the Shell, the TV show, which it was
the movie.
No, not the movie, not the Mamoru Oshii movie. It was the
not
Kenji
the 90s.
Kamiyama.
Okay, the series.
2000s, yeah, Kenji Kamiyama. The one by Kenji Kamiyama is really good, and a lot of people put off watching it because they're like, oh, it's just gonna be like pedantic philosophical stuff like the movie. It's like, it's not. It's so action based. It's really cool storytelling, and Kamiyama expands on the Ghost in the Shell story from the comics so much. It's really fantastic. Yep. Standalone complex, and actually Second Gig is my favorite. Like the story between the Major and Kuze and Second Gig and how it goes international. It's like about international terrorism and stuff. And this was the first time I saw that in high school, and I was like, anime can be serious. This is like serious storytelling. That's what made me decide to go to college. And so many people, don't want to watch it because they think it's just going to be like the movie or something.
I'm a huge fan of that too. I got the manga. I even got the sequel, which is pretty awesome. And there's a third book. A lot of people don't know about that one. There's a book of Ghost in the Shell where it's just the guys. It's just the what's their name again? The team, the unit.
The Tachikomas?
Yeah, it's the unit before she's there.
Before. Oh, the unit before she's there, right. Yeah, I didn't come across that one either. Yeah, I never read that.
But
I don't think
Standalone Complex was good. It's the other ones after that I didn't like. The one that came out on Netflix when they try to make her into a kid.
Oh, Arise?
Yeah, Arise and the later one too that came out. I'm not very crazy about it.
Well, there's the live action one that we shall not speak about.
Yeah, that's not.
And then there was Arise, which I was like real hyped about. Then I watched it. I was like, this just feels off.
I know, right?
It just, I don't know how to describe it. It feels off. Like, I know that every iteration of the Major is a little different, but for some reason, the one in Arise just didn't feel like her. And she's a kid, and it's like, oh, she's supposed to be younger, but she's still an adult. She's not when she was young. And what really like bothered me was they established her backstory in the Kamiyama series, and I don't think they should change that. I think they should stick with that. And it just like fucks with me when they're like, oh, this is a new series. And if this was like a video game that wanted to change her backstory, I would get it. Or like a different medium they want to change her backstory. But it's another animated show. So I'm like, it should be in the same continuity as the previous animated show, even if it's by a new director, but they changed her backstory entirely. And like, first, I didn't like the new backstory in Arise. I didn't like her design. I liked her design in the Kamiyama series. Like that's her character. She likes to look like that. She chooses how she looks. And the backstory in Second Gig was so good, like the plane crash and everything. I was like, why didn't you carry that through? The one in Arise was kind of lame.
They wanted to just do a remake of it and like a reimagining of it. It's like when I watched the movie, I was so hyped about it, right? The movie, the live action one, like I was hyped about it. But when I watched it, it's like, dude, they took everything cool from the scenery, right? From the scenes, like
they took the dressing. They took the dressing and put it on, and it's really pretty. And but they don't. The soul of the story's not there. They don't understand what Ghost in the Shell is about.
The backstory, it's Armitage.
I have opinions about this.
It's technically the backstory of Alita and Armitage.
Yeah,
they changed the story.
Why do you have to change the story? Her story is already set, and if it doesn't, the whole franchise doesn't work if you like.
They made her. They just made her into one of those. What was a doll? Something doll. There was a series a while back where it was a bunch of people that were getting their mind wiped to do like missions. It was, I don't know.
Dollhouse or something.
Dollhouse, yeah.
The Whedon one.
Yeah. I don't know, dude.
It's so lame, though.
Yeah.
That's not her, man. That's
she's badass. She's been part of that team for years.
Because you can change like small ways of how she approaches things. Because the way she approached things in the Oshi work and in Kamiyama's work and in original manga are different. Her personality is a little different, but still, her story is the same. It's like she's a very accomplished cyborg body user, and it's like this is the route that she chose. She's in control of her life, and that's why she's really admirable. And they made her just like, oh, she's a corporate pawn, you're just like a mercenary. I was just like, why would you screw with her character like that? It was disrespectful. Not a fan.
Did you get to see the Apple Seed and 3D animated movies?
Yeah, I did.
Those are also real liked.
Oh, I thought you wouldn't like those.
I like them. The third, yeah, I like pretty much all three of them. It's the series after that I really did not like.
Okay.
Because they tried to do the same thing they did with Arise.
Oh my God.
Like a big revamp and change this and
I don't know why they did that. It baffles my mind. I have thoughts. Listen, Ghost in the Shell. I have a Ghost in the Shell tattoo. It's the only like anime or the tattoo of any series that I have. So.
Great.
And it's.
I still have the original floppies plus the trades.
Awesome. For Ghost in the Shell.
Floppies were amazing. Yeah.
They have floppies?
Yeah, when they because like I told you, it's Dark Horse that brought all of those comics in with Akira, Ghost in the Shell, Apple Seed, and I used to buy them as floppies.
Oh, I didn't know they were releasing floppies. Hold on to those, you're gonna be rich. It's all wrong.
Yep.
Scooby says.
But Alita Battle Angel was freaking awesome.
The movie?
Yep.
That was pretty good. I wished my only thing was it was a little too condensed. I know they wanted to make it. It was condensed, but also just aesthetically, I'm like, it was like really, clean, and they wanted to make it PG-13. I was like, I get it, but like I wanted the original grit. I was like,
yeah, I agree with that. But I did like that they respected the story, the IP a lot, the character. The only thing, like I said, the condensation, like the fact that they insisted in putting the Mars thing in there already. I understand the rollerball. Like, I understand why it had to be in the first one. I understand it. But the Mars part could have waited for the sequel.
What I didn't like was what they did with Hugo. So that was not. It wasn't. It didn't feel natural, and I don't know why the Mars part was there, and it's way too condensed. And I wished.
The
I
what
wish that
that the Hugo part was a bit too overly romanticized, or
it was. It was just. It didn't feel natural. I feel like it was really rushed. You know. Um, Yeah, and probably it was just like a pacing problem, but probably also I didn't like the actor who played Hugo, so there's that. I just it didn't the chemistry wasn't there for me. It's like, oh, this is a great romantic story. It's like you needed a different actor for it that really would work with like the actress. I didn't feel like that worked, but also the Mars part, I don't understand why it's there. I actually love that they put the rollerball in there, but I didn't like how the ending was like an open end to like, oh, we already assume we're gonna have a sequel. I wish they just ended it with, you know, like, well, she kills the guy, and how did it end? She kills the guy, and then
she technically she technically kills that guy. Hugo dies. Then
then
then she goes to the derby to the roller derby again,
yeah.
and then she lifts her sword to the reveal of who's in there.
Yeah, I kind of didn't. I kind of wish the reveal wasn't there. I kind of wanted to just be. This is it ends with she kills God Eyes, and then it's a mystery, but it's the mystery is implied because I felt like it was really heavy-handed. It dragged the movie on for longer, and like it was not really necessary. It was like, oh yes, come back and give us more money. I was like, it wasn't.
Yeah, I really
I
think
didn't
that.
need that.
Yeah, I really think that if you just remove the Mars part, it would just have been better. Like to me,
Too.
I really feel that it's the Mars part that feels forced on it.
Yeah, maybe you're
Like
right.
they wanted to jump the gun a bit too much on the new body and this.
I mean, it's completely
'Cause-
not
'cause that,
essential
that's
to understanding the story that early
it's
on.
yeah, but it's not even in the first series. It's not
Yeah,
even in the first series. That's in the second one.
that's true.
Yeah,
But surprise, she's from Mars.
like the roller derby is in the first one.
Yeah.
Everything, like all of this is in the first series.
I
The
like that
Mars part,
role.
the new the alien body, that's in the last what is it, the last order or something like that. The
Last
second
Order.
series, yeah, the last order.
I wish they had just kept where the origins of the body a mystery. Like it's cool that the body was there, but it's like where it came from. It's a mystery. We didn't need to know that.
Yeah.
And then they would have been able to pace things better. But as far as anime movies goes, especially concerning all the other crap
It's
adaptations
the
that we've
best
been
there is.
getting,
Yeah.
it's pretty good though. Let's be clear about that.
It's the best anime live action adaptation there's been ever done.
Yep, finally something about this because like James Cameron wanted to make it.
It's Robert Rodriguez that made it happen.
Yep, that's true. That's true.
The
You're
guy
right.
was the guy behind it that set it up,
He's
but the
had
one
like
that
actual
made it,
love for the
Yeah.
original series. That's all you have to do.
Rodriguez.
Just respect the original.
Dude. If you know anything about Rodriguez, like he's one of my heroes. Okay,
Yeah.
that guy, it was a cartoonist. He did comics. He does his own storyboard. He does his own music for his movies. He's like what's his name? Carpenter. He was actually trained by Carpenter, but to make movies.
Mhm.
And the fact that he's a big freaking comic book and anime, manga and stuff. And dude, he's the guy that technically saved the Frazetta collection.
Really?
He's the one that has the museum in his house, and he's the one that helped the family to have that traveling museum of Frazetta's art. He owns the
Awesome.
Conan piece. My dream is to own the Death Dealer one day. But hey,
you can do it. I believe in you. I believe in you.
yeah, I would have to be able to afford throwing $1 million or $2 million.
You can do that. That's not a problem. Cool. I did
But
not
I would
know
the Death Dealer. That's one of the pieces was as a kid that made me go, "Oh, I know what I want to do in my life."
that. Yeah.
Like I always drew, but Frazetta is like they were always trying to make me like nature or like reproductive artists like in
Oh, like
museums, and I
still
can't.
life drawing and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, no, he needs to tell
Same
a
here.
story, and when like it's
No, they don't want that.
Yeah.
Did you get the whole like, oh, you have to like understand the craft and draw this still life perfectly before you get to be creative? You have to do this boring thing before we'll let you be creative. It's like,
No,
that.
I'm like, no, okay, you have to learn the
that
base and then unlearn the base to let the creative go.
That's stupid. That's stupid. I'll be creative anytime I want.
Yeah.
That's not what matters. If you have a good story and a good idea, it doesn't matter. You know, it's the base, and the technical part will come as you practice.
But you know why, right?
Because they don't want you to be creative. They want
no. It's because everybody can learn to reproduce art. Like you know, like if you have a certain set of skills, you have it easier. But everybody can technically learn reproductive art.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Everybody can
paint that still life.
Creative art, not so much. Not everybody's able to imagine a 3D space and an actual 3D environment in their head.
But yeah, I know that there is just like natural differentiation, you know.
Some people remember sounds, not visuals, you know.
Yeah, and some people are really good. Like I cannot stay like follow a rhythm to save my life, but some people are just geniuses with music. So talent does matter. Everyone has a talent. But I hated how in all the art classes in school and like the painting classes and stuff, the traditional painting classes I had growing up, they didn't want you to be creative. It was just about copying something like a machine. And I was like, so you just want to train people like, oh, you can grab any person off the street and train them to just be a machine and copy this thing, but you don't actually want to train, want to find people and train them to be better, to actually be a creative. And even if you try to do that, they beat you down. And it's like, this is so stupid. Like, that's not art. That's not what art's supposed to be about. You want to be mediocre, it feels like. I hated doing still lifes as well.
You hear what?
I hated doing still lifes as well. Just, yep. I liked art, but I hated art class. It didn't work out.
No, I like the creative part of it. It's like I don't even like looking at reference. I like drawing from memory.
Yeah, same here. I actually didn't even I don't, and I'm not saying this is a good thing because doing studies of other artists and practicing and doing life drawing is good, especially life drawing. But I still don't like doing life drawing. I just don't like drawing like something that's like something that you're seeing in front of you. Like what I do is, I'll look at pictures of poses and I look at other people's art, but I hate copying it. Like I've never, even when I was just beginning to draw as like a 10-year-old, like I would never copy something. I viscerally hate doing that. So I'll look at a pose and I'll remember the muscles and then I'll draw my own thing, like using that information.
I'll try again and again until I get it.
Yeah, and then because then I'm inserting my own style into drawing instead of just copying something. So maybe everyone works differently, but for me, like I always hated copying. It just doesn't. It's like it just feels wrong to me. It doesn't. It feels like I'm not actually, doing art. See the chat.
No, it's like illustration, I think, or. Like when you study in concept art for movies and stuff like that, a lot of it is quick little photos and this and that and this and that's about speed.
Concept art for movies.
Concept art for movies and stuff like that, or videos.
Yeah. It's mostly photo bashing.
Yeah. But to me, in comics or stuff, and painting and stuff, no.
Yeah, it's very different animal to do concept art than comics.
Even when I do my concept art, I draw everything. But that's.
I have a tendency to do the same. Well, you saw the layout that I did, the blueprint for that house. Yup, that's how I function. I mean, some shortcuts are good.
But sometimes you have deadlines.
Sometimes. Well, I can work fast, and I can use shortcuts. But the thing is, okay, if I'm working on someone else's stuff, I'm doing commissions and freelance, I use a lot more shortcuts, and I can do that. But like that's why you have set brushes, and it's like you just have set like, okay, I know to draw something from an angle that's just more. I don't have to use my mind as much, so it's faster because this is a rush job. But for my own comics, it's also a level of I'm more comfortable with it, so that by nature just makes me faster. So I can expend more energy doing like crazy angles, going like way out with like the environment design because it's my world. I know how everything is. So just by virtue of that, it's much faster.
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm doing one of the worst nightmares of our that we can do: jumping in, finishing somebody else's job.
Oh my god!
Right in the middle of somewhere, like, hey, a book is half done, but
Oh yeah, you mentioned that. Yeah.
and they're not all linear, so there's pages in between, like a spot there, one there, a spot there. So
Yeah.
I have to jump in there and try and fit in a way.
Yeah.
So as you know, this is like one of the worst thing we can do, but it's to help our buddy.
I've been hired for touch-up jobs, but not anything like that. Oof, I don't know if I'd be able to handle it. I've been hired to do like, it's weird. Like they'd have one issue with some publishers. They'd have like one issue, but then certain artists would be too slow, or they'd like have to drop out of a project. So like you had one issue, but not the whole issue would be split between different artists, which is really weird. But I never had to come in and like finish someone else's
take over, yeah.
page. Yeah, take over, or something like that. So that would be really hard.
Yep.
Yeah, it's weird, but I think I've lost interest in doing comics for other people for a while. I don't want to do it anymore. I can't.
It's like when people used to reach out to me, right? Like, I don't mind doing posters, covers, trading cards, and stuff like that. But doing a full series, I don't think so.
I can't do it.
But maybe coming in doing a 5-pager, like a short story, maybe, right?
Yeah.
But we have our own things that we'd like to get to eventually.
Yeah, that's my approach now. I will do like maximum like probably 8 pages, but I won't be an interior artist for anyone anymore. I just can't do it because it's not like I need to take all the job for the money. I freelance with like gaming and stuff, and that's like I'm good. So if I'm drawing comics, it's my shit, and that's how I want it to be. I'm trying to if you can't tell, I'm trying to draw this room from a different angle right now, so I'm referencing like page 1. I don't have a layout for this, so I'm just like winging it. It'll work. I'll make it work.
Oh, yes, yeah. ScoobyCon asking you, when working for Marvel, did you work digital or paper, Irene?
Oh, I work digital. Probably should have done paper, but at the same time, I wasn't working on like super big series. But then again, like I wasn't expecting Gwenpool to do pretty well, and then people have been asking me, "Do you have Gwenpool originals?" So, no, just one of those things. Also, they were putting me on like a really fast turnaround, so digital is just so much faster.
And we also have Chris that joined in.
Oh, hello.
In the chat. Hello.
Hi. Comics are good shit. That is true. That is why we're here. What's up, Chris? Welcome, welcome. Comics are indeed good shit. There's good shit that I will reserve my comics energy for my own shit. I am determined. From now on. I just don't have the energy to work on, because it's so time consuming and mentally consuming to work on a comic,
But it depends. Like right now, like with the guys from Inkslayer, we're doing something called Inkslayer magazine, and the idea was it came up that we were all talking like, how can we get more productive? And I'm like, well, I'm way faster penciling. Inking takes longer. I really love inking, but penciling is what I excel at. Laying out, pacing, stuff like that. Then you have Scottman that goes, well, me, it's inking. Inkspot's
Oh,
like,
that's
Mid's coloring. And we're like, huh,
well.
right.
It sounds like a collaboration.
So that's what we're doing. We're technically we each have IPs in there. There's gonna be like 5 IPs, and we're all working on them
Right.
at different levels. Like penciling, inking, this.
Right. Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. It's just harder when you're doing everything on your own.
Mm-hmm. But you want to get more stuff out. You do not want to reduce the quality of it, right?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that you notice a lot. That a lot of it suffer. It's like, oh, we can get it out, but then it ends up with the problem that we started with about low quality comics or something that's done quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I was not upset back then in the 90s when an image took 2 to 3 months for a comic. When the comics came out, spectacular. Same thing with manga. If it me and Irene were fan of freaking Berserk there, and it takes a freaking long time for something to come out. Are you freaking happy still when it comes out? Yes, you are.
It's only one chapter a year at this point.
Yeah, but it's fucking awesome.
I'm just worried the guy's like gonna die, but I don't mind a slow release schedule.
He's publishing them Euro style once a year.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He's actually pretty young. He's like only like 60, but yeah, like so the idea behind I just incorporated I started my own company, Hellion Arts. It's just a sole proprietor right now, but the idea is to expand in the future. And the way it's a publishing company, so the first publication that we're doing is Fiendish. So that's the first book that will be under the Hellion imprint. And what I want to do is kind of strike a balance between, the American like monthly grind and the European like yearly release. So I'm thinking I want to open up I want my series. I want Fiendish to eventually be quarterly or triannually. So 3 times or 3 or 4 chapters a year. And any other series that wants to come on will also be open that you can do every 3 months or every 4 months. So that gives people time to do longer chapters. I'm doing 40-page chapters because I have always felt like 20 pages is not enough to tell a full story. And it gives you time to make the art really good. And I think it would be more cohesive that way, because then you can, before you release it, you can go back and make sure that, everything flows better and it's a larger chunk of pages that are cohesive. So that's the idea behind the publishing model that I want to use. I've been talking to people that really like that, and they have also series that are similar enough in just like genre to mine. I'm not looking for people who have like the exact same style as me, but just a similar like detailed art. They want to tell a long form story, but they have like confidence issues with putting their story out. It just takes time, but that's what I want to do, because I feel like someone needs to do that. And crowdfunding also fits that really well. So I'll be crowdfunding, the printing costs, and like a triannual or quarterly releases, it fits crowdfunding perfectly. Yeah, it doesn't have to be like, pump it out every single month.
Nope.
If it's quality work, that's really all the readers care about. And you do have to like stick to a schedule, but it doesn't have to be like bam, 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 bam.
I tried to stick to the technically European approach, or like the other way I like to say it. It's remember that it's a trilogy. Three floppy, so you get 60-page. So you actually get a full enough pages to tell a full story, and you can pull out like at least you make like 3 or 4 a year if you get everything lined up properly. It takes a while to establish your stuff.
It does. It just takes a while, but I know that, and I am all right with that. Oh, Yvonne is joining. Alrighty. Hello, Yvonne.
Hello.
Thanks for joining.
How's everything going?
Pretty good. I'm just penciling page 2 here, and I'm trying to mirror this room over and draw it from a new angle. So
That's a nice preview.
Yeah, this is chapter 2. I'm finally starting on the pencil, so I figured I'd share that little exclusive preview. And what were we just talking about? Oh, we were talking about like release schedules for comics. So yeah, and I was
okay.
Shooting the shit, How have you been?
Okay. Trying to make some time to draw. Work has been a little long today. I'm making some proposals for that weird work that I have.
Right on. Can you like talk about it? I don't know if you can talk about it. So okay. Anyways, Yvonne works like you're a full-time freelance illustrator. So you basically just sit at home all day and slaving away at jobs, and it's your life.
Yeah,
But it's
and all of
okay.
a
We're in the
sudden,
same boat. We're in the same boat.
yeah, and all of a sudden, just like the military comes and hey, we need some interfaces up for
Yes.
some things that we're gonna do, and like,
Yeah.
are you paying? Yeah.
So you are
Okay.
starting a new job with the military. Apparently, they need artists for something. So that's good. I'm glad.
Yeah, I mean, they're having artistic sensibilities now because almost everything is horrible there.
Almost everything is horrible. So it's like design. Is it like, is it just like design work? It's like we need somebody to make our shit appealing.
Both actually. It's for design and it's focused to make their test even more, actually interesting and interactive for the people that are ranking up as officers.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from that, there is a lot of work to be done towards the part of making it really appealing.
Right on, right on. Well, it is steady employment for a short while, so congratulations.
Thank you.
In case anyone in the chat doesn't know, Yvonne is doing a poster for the Fiendish Indiegogo campaign. And I know you're busy and you haven't been able to get to coloring it yet, but it is very awesome. Let me show everyone, just in case people haven't seen it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, hello there.
How's it
Sorry,
going?
I didn't catch your name there. Sim, how are you?
Sim
I'm
is
doing
here.
great. I was just waiting for you guys to catch up. Yeah, I was just waiting for you guys to catch up.
He's been lurking. It was like, I will surprise him. Yes, Sim, Yvonne, Sim.
Nice to meet you,
Yvonne.
Let's see. Let me pull up your poster. It is pretty awesome. Very awesome. If I can find the right window. Lord almighty. I'll probably pull up like an old version again, just because I don't know what I'm doing. Oh,
That's okay, it's okay.
There you go.
Cool.
Yeah, that's the one Yvonne is doing. And let me pull the one Carlos did as well. I assume he's not able to join today, but whatever.
Yeah, I hope it's doing okay.
It's fine. It's fine. He can abandon me. I understand. I see how things are. So this is the one by Carlos. I can't. Yeah, and which is pretty awesome. And these are both posters that are going to be rewards. Yeah, these are both going to be rewards on the Indiegogo. So you have a poster by me, which is the one with the trio, Cosmere, Yusko, and Yomi, and then you have Carlos's poster and then Yvonne's posters. And this is going to be in color, but I know you're busy. You haven't have time to color it yet. By the way, I have told you that you like made him way hunkier than he is. I was like, thank you for giving me fan service. But cool, I'll take it.
It's what brings all the boys and girls to the yard, man.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I know that Yvonne is a connoisseur of culture. You're a man of culture, so I always thought that was funny. But this is awesome. And I can't wait to see it finished.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Things getting done. Yeah. Are you working on anything tonight?
Yeah, actually, in those interfaces, I have a little power outage early tonight, so I'm making a little time and just taking it easy. Actually, I think that I'll do just 3 proposals so far. I mean, I did have some work done the previous day that helped me to like prevent this, but it's okay. Just trying to make it a little bit easy on me to just not complicate on myself with the things that I'll do. Maybe some color and some asset changes.
Right on.
I mean, it's funny because they're easy, impressionable. Not to take advantage of that, I do want to make a good work that they're really aware with everything that we make.
No, it's fine. No, yeah, they're. It's good to not get that many notes back, though. But it's like a real hit or miss when you're working for people who aren't artists, because either they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, everything is amazing," or they're like, "Can you make like that square more like a dot?" Or can you make that green more red? Like I wanted to feel like cluttered but also clean. Like that's the kind of shit that you get, client feedback that you get if you work for non-artists a lot.
Yeah, that is actually
Like
true. That's
it
a
makes
thing
you
that
want to like ram your head into a wall.
we were talking yesterday about it actually, because one of them previously worked with maybe a branch of them, I don't know, but he did like the prettiest proposals and all, and well, the proposal that it was like the bulky one and the one that he didn't really like, and guess what they choose?
The one that he doesn't like. They will always don't give the
Mhm.
clients options because they will choose the one you don't like.
Yeah, I
You have to
did
learn
tell
not to
him
be
that,
like
but
just like give them one option. Be like, I don't have time for anything else. This is gonna be the one you're getting. And anything if you want edits, you're gonna have to pay me more. And write edits into your contracts.
yeah,
Make them
or
pay
try
you for
to
edits.
guide them towards, look, buddy, this won't work because this and this and this, and it kind of looks ugly. So this one's no, but he didn't have he didn't have that option. So
Yeah, but then they're like, why didn't you give me the option? I like this one more. And it's like, just don't give them the option. Oh, freelance is fun. So much fun.
It's not more different when you go work in a big office. We
That's
had
true.
actually
That's true.
there's a story that I used to tell. I call it the Sputnik story. We're all working on a design for a movie. The guy comes in, the big attitude of Hollywood comes into a freaking studio, right?
Right.
And he's like, it needs to be chop chop. Everything needs to happen right now, on his schedule. Everybody's waiting for him for like an hour, but And then he comes in and he goes, "What we need? It's quite simple. We need a spaceship that looks like the Sputnik." He goes,
Okay.
"Okay, so everything needs to be designed and looks like the Sputnik, and that's it." And then he leaves.
So it's like a
So
little thing with antennas. Wow, that's hard.
then
Yeah.
there's a whole bunch of time that gets spent into like the design and stuff like that. 2
A week.
weeks, a month, into everything's okay, and then the guy comes back in after like I don't know, like after the month first meeting. And then he goes in and that's not what I asked you. He goes, yeah, you asked something that's inspired by the Sputnik. He knows that's not what I mean. That's not the Sputnik. So he shows
Oh
them
my
a Challenger.
I bet you 100
Oh
times,
my
$100 that it's gonna be
Yeah,
another spaceship.
he shows him a Challenger. The Challenger.
It's Russian. It's Sputnik. It's not Russian. Oh,
So
Laika
all
is
the
very
production of a
disappointed.
freaking team of an entire month of special effects was thrown to the freaking garbage just because the guy, okay, I don't have time. This is like chop chop, and I want something that looks like the Sputnik. Make it happen.
I've heard of similar horror stories in game design, but it's more just like like
Yeah,
things that are stuck in production hell and the people don't know what they actually want. So they make you keep on drawing things and throwing things out because they can't visualize it. They have no mental visualization skills. So they don't know what they want and they just waste a lot of time and throw everything out until they're like, oh yeah, I kind of like that. And then they might change their minds anyways.
And for people that don't know the difference, it's the difference between a satellite and a space shuttle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks nothing. The Sputnik is like this
pointing
thing,
out the
this
difference
little
between
thing with
countries.
it looks like the Voyager. The Sputnik looks more like the Voyager and the Challenger is a space. It's like I'm done.
Poor Laika is rolling in zero gravity in her grave. Oh god.
Yeah, that stuff happens all the time. Or one of the best one that we all like to make fun is, oh, it's freaking awesome, it's freaking amazing. Yeah, but can you change the angle? Yeah. Like it's a freaking scroll
it's like
screen.
colored and
Sir, I did it in 2D. I'm not sure about how you refer about the angle.
That's when you feel the panic attack coming. Yo.
Oh, that's rough, buddy.
That's so bad. I don't know, this is like a similar thing, but I've had like, people early on, it doesn't happen as much anymore, but they're like, oh, you're an artist? I have an idea for like an animated movie. Can you animate it? They're like, no.
Do you have all this kind of money for this?
I can't animate a movie. That's not how animation works. They're like, oh, you must not I guess you're just not experienced enough. I was like, no, that's not how animation works. I can't do this job. I can do the designs. You might have to spend a few $1,000s hiring a bunch of people to animate it. It's not how it works.
A funny one was I remember somebody reaching out to me, wanted me to draw one of his character for an IP, like a poster or something like that. I'm like, okay, do you have the design? He goes, yeah. So he sends me his design. So it's a mock-up of something that he made in a video game that's, you can create your own character with a whole bunch of pictures of something else. I'm like, you're aware that none of this can be used. And so you're technically asking, no, I have a design. It's in my that's not a design.
Oh, that's so
You have big ideas for making maybe a mood board for a design, but that's not it, buddy.
You're gonna have to pay somebody to actually design that thing. That puts the price up, then compared to just one illustration to having to design your goddamn character, guy.
Having to pay people for art? No, never.
What? You guys don't live out of exposure?
No, it's shocking.
I had to handle exposure claims. Oh God. You really want to be polite, but at the end
you take your exposure and shove it where. Okay.
Well, not so much as that, but you're like, oh yeah, exposure is gonna really fill my tongue today.
Yeah, that's gonna feed my 4 kids.
I don't need your exposure. You can't. I don't understand.
The worst thing is when you have somebody telling you that, like, it's for exposure, and you go look at their thing, and they're like 20 followers.
Do you pay your gas
that's exactly what I was gonna say. They're like, I can help you get exposure. I am a social media master, and I was like, click on their profile. It's like 100 followers, and all their pictures are their cats, and I'm just like. How are you going to help me? I can just post my art and people can see it. It's not how it works. I'm not stupid. Pay me for my work. You shall. So it's terrible. Yeah, I don't know. That's why I kind of stopped doing freelance. Or I only do freelance like for companies, like gaming companies, or through people I know. I don't just take random freelance jobs anymore. Just can't stand it.
Like, don't ask an artist to do something for free. They'll offer it if they feel like it.
Yeah.
And you'll find out that usually creators, artists are way more generous than you can imagine.
I don't even do free shit for my family. Like, if the only free stuff I do is like, it's when I want to. Like when I like a supporter, I want to do something for them that it's they deserve it. Yeah. And I actually put my heart into it, but no, man, I'm done for you. Like, don't ask someone to do.
But dude, it's like somebody like, oh, why not? It's exposure. Okay, are you gonna come and fix my kitchen? You do my entire freaking walls and maybe paint my entire fence just for exposure.
Well, I can spend. The thing is,
the answer is it's no, right?
No, that too. But also like. They're like, oh, it's still good practice. It's like, I'm giving you work. I'm like such a kind person. I'm giving you, but it's like, I could spend the time I'm working on your shitty idea. And usually their ideas are shitty on an idea that's my own, that's good, and that's my style. And I would get just as much exposure. I don't care.
Did you ever hear that one? But you make it look so simple. And I'm like,
I have heard.
That's like 25 years of practice. I
have heard that, yeah. Okay, so I would get that all the time when I used to go draw in cafes. I would take my Cindy companion, go draw in cafes, and like the amount of like annoying comments I would get just made me stop. I couldn't stand it. It's like, are you drawing that? Did you draw that? I'm literally there drawing it. They're like,
yeah,
did you draw that?
Even at conventions, at least over here.
And like, how do you do that? I was like, and like it would always be like when I have my headphones on too. So like when I don't have my headphones on, people would just stare awkwardly. But when I have my headphones on, that's when they like tap you on the shoulder and like make you take your headphones off. And it's like, did you draw that? Are you an artist? It's amazing.
There was a moment in university that I got annoyed to somebody always tapping on my shoulder when I was working. That even that. Dude, I just turned around. Even I was listening to something, and I turned around and go, "You're weird, and I'm not listening to nothing. I just keep the headset on, so you leave me the fuck alone." And they looked at me like,
That was a bad day. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yo. Yup.
but that was one of those very annoying person. And you still laughed at it because come on, sense of humor. It was funny.
It was funny. Yeah.
Probably you left you
because he looked at me, really? Like, nah.
Should be like, yeah, fuck off. Oh my god. Yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah, I've stopped drawing in public.
When you're stuck in university doing 24 hours, like the school was open 24/7, 7 days a week. People were sleeping there, so when you're rendering for hours and hours and hours. You're a bit snappy.
Oh, that takes me back.
You come a bit snappy, right?
I'm having flashbacks.
Yes.
PTSD.
Okay. So, yeah, like I basically lived in the sequential art department, but also, so back when I was at SCAD, it was the sequential art department was next to animation, and next to game design was like right on the same floor at us. So it was like. Mm-hmm. Every night, the whole school would be empty. All like the more normal people in like fashion design and the weird, quirky people in illustration would go the fuck home. But then like the sequential art people and the game design people would just be sleeping under the tables. Like the sequential art people, just because comics take so long, they couldn't finish it. And the game design people would be like waiting for renders, and every computer would have a note on it like, "Don't touch, it's rendering."
Yeah. It will have candles and the Holy Mary in that computer.
And we got to be such good friends because it would only be sequential art and game design going to get milkshakes at 2 a.m. because we were all stuck there.
There was a weekend where I dropped by with the kids, with the boys, right? I went to pick up something at the office that was left there. So I'm dropping by, and as I walked in, my kid's just like, "Dad, what the hell's going on?" You had like people sleeping on the chair, at the table, on the couch there. They're all like, they're like, "Dad, why is everybody sleeping all around?" And I'm like, long hours.
Oh my god!
Everywhere. Like there's a class full of them sleeping in chairs, one on the table, just waiting for the rendering.
Yeah, dude, the way people managed it was like under the tables. I knew someone who like found a little nook behind this pillar in the hallway that was just like secluded, and she brought her sleeping bag and on tables. And there were some people that were like, they learned to balance their body so well in sleep. They would line up like 3 chairs with wheels, like 3 rolly chairs, but somehow managed to sleep across them.
Yep.
Like, at that point, you just sleep on the floor. Right?
I practice the power nap. It's just like you put your feet up, you lay your back, you scroll down, and you put your head back just a little bit, and you close your eyes for 15 minutes.
I would like find. Okay, so it was so bad because it was at our school, so they had areas for people to sleep because they like expect people to like. So it was so terrible. It's like child abuse or something. But either I would actually just go to like the lounge area, or and then like the girls' bathroom had like a sofa, so I would just sleep in the bathroom, or I just sleep on a Cintiq because it was like really warm, and then I wake up and it would just be like makeup all over my Cintiq.
Always mirrored in the Cintiq also.
It was great, just like face print on the Cintiq. Right, dude, you had to get my shit done, man.
We used to sleep out going out to the stairs. You will see people just hanging in the corners of the stairs, waiting, or making their jobs in the staircases. Since our university since our university was built not wide but uppers.
It was tall.
Yeah, it was like several apartment complex fusion together. So Well, apart from that, yeah, either the power naps or just all terrain. Basically, learn to live like a hobo. Whatever you, yeah, actually, yeah.
Mhm.
You even brought out your own sheets and all just to have a less hard surface to sleep on. And you
You know, I
remind me
mean,
of the render days. Oh, you
Just
just pray that
never have to go through that again.
nothing is there. Yeah.
that was back on the day when even Photoshop was like crash all the time, and like sometimes you just be working all night and suddenly your computer crashes.
Yeah, we
And
were doing 3D, full 3D animation rendering. It was long and it crashes and you have to sleep by it because if it crashes you lose
yeah,
everything. And then you're like,
yeah,
ah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you develop
I watched
actually a
so
certain
many.
paranoia saving
Yeah.
yeah.
files.
I've learned to save. So I had a professor who, on top of like just the fact that the computers would just like just decide to shit their pants all the time on their own, I had a professor that would go around and randomly pull the plugs out of people's computers
No,
to
why?
teach them to save.
No, that's a war crime. That's a war
I think
crime
he
right
got in
there.
trouble for it, but I'm like, it
Well, dude,
works.
us in school, everybody got so upset because of it that one of the project of design was designing a poster to remind people to Control S. So all over the school after that class, there was like posters of Control S. Remember to Control S. One was a face header, like a target there, bang head here, Control S.
Yeah, it's good.
Mine was it was a sequential one. So you had a guy in front of his desk ripping his hair like his hair out, and then after that, the computer's broken fire and like better safe than sound. Control S. No, better safe than sorry.
Yeah, that's
Ah,
funny.
Like a drunk driver at something like that. It's like, don't do that. Save before you go.
The good old days. Our school was wild.
Yeah, I looking back then, I physically just wonder how did we all endure such treatments and schedules and I'm not talking about the food.
I think the idea is like this is how bad it can be, guys. If you can make it through, you're good. then we
Yeah,
ha- then we have a real then we all ended up with a sick work ethic.
Yeah,
yep,
yeah, pretty much.
yep.
So hate it, but it goddamn worked.
No, honestly, I really enjoyed it. Like I loved it. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I don't feel like, did I really need to finish art school because the like employers don't really look at that and everything. But then like I enjoy the experience just because it's like I was just being punched in the face for 4 years and being pushed to the limit, and that was great. I enjoyed that.
Hmm.
Dude, it was a challenge. But it really was like if you can take this, then you can manage anything in the professional world.
Like
It's
you
kind
get
of
out
true.
there, like, okay, if I made it through, wanted to make this through, so there's nothing that's gonna stop me getting what the hell I want.
Yep.
So you're going for your dream.
Like, are you sure you want to do comics? Really? Are you sure? This is the life that you're gonna have. Suffer, please.
Jack Kirby said it once. And if you don't really want, if kids, comics will break your heart, so you better be ready.
Gonna break your soul, man.
Hey, yeah.
Oh, it'll never break my soul.
But like they said, like I think it was I was Steve Jobs, and there's a few others that said it. But if it was easy, everybody would
Everybody
get it.
will do it. Yeah.
Everybody would do it. You technically have to be insane and want it bad enough. And another person said, when when you want to reach your dream, you have to want that dream more than you actually want to breed.
I want more
And
sanity here.
breathing by inhaling, like I have an accent and sometimes it just
Yes, no, I understood.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. It's what's sad is like even after all that, so many people I knew in art school didn't end up doing
Most of them
You know.
didn't. They all ran away doing something else.
Yeah, I don't know. It strikes me as really sad. Um, but maybe it's just not for everybody. But with doing art, it's not instant gratification. Like it starts out really hard the first few years. You're always stepped on. It's hard to get started with like original projects, but you have to realize it's a long game. Like nothing starting out will have an audience. You have to keep at it,
Yep.
and I think especially we're kind of built for instant gratification nowadays. Not to sound like a grandma, but it's a long term investment, and a lot of people, I don't know that.
Most people want quick result, easy result. They don't want
Yeah,
to try something
Mhm.
hard. Hey, if I'm not good, I'll never be good. No, it's usually stuff doesn't come easy to people.
but the thing is also when you see like an artist just seem to suddenly blow up and they got famous so quickly. That's actually not actually how it happened. Like probably out of well-known artists, probably like 1 in a million maybe actually just did one drawing that really caught on and they got famous. But most people they had been working for years and years and years, and then
Yep.
finally they broke through. And that's you didn't see what they put into their craft before they blew up. So
Look,
people looking in from the outside think it's easy. It's not. It's not easy for anybody.
look at
That's a
Frazetta
lot of
and
discarded sketches, discarded ideas. It's a
look at
lot of.
Frazetta, Mobius. I'm trying to reach a bit of all sides, right? You have like
Hmm.
people that reach out long. You have Kirby. He got they made it famous when they were in their 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Oh,
often
Yeah.
people think that
Mizaki
if you don't
too.
hit it before 25, before 30,
Fuck
you're.
no. Like,
Yeah,
such as an
I
artist,
was
like,
raised like that, and it's got a crippling trauma even today. And you gotta unlearn to that kind of behavior that it was installed by everybody back then. And
mhm.
because it's not only because this profession is really it's hard. Getting out to put out good ideas is hard, but because the rest of the world, for whatever variable it might be, economic, country situation, uh, virus, it will make it more difficult for you now. So you gotta not let go, but still like really unlearn to beat yourself so much for that.
No, and also the same. I remember when I was in college, I was told that nobody really makes it in comics until they're 30, and I was like so mad at that. I was like, no, I can definitely be good enough before I'm 30, and then it's like, oh, I really wasn't ready until now. I was
It's the
I
mindset.
really it's the mindset because what I realized is I didn't it's like I've always been really good at drawing, but that's the technical part. It's more about like having your style and having something to say and being able
Mm-hmm.
to write a good story. I was like, I just didn't have the wisdom. I didn't have the experience
And
yet.
the
So
experiences,
yeah,
yeah.
they were right. And it's okay to have to wait for that, that experience to build up. It's not going to be it's not instant gratification.
No, me,
Yeah.
I'm way better than I was 2 years ago, and I get better every year, if not every six
Yeah.
months. It's
Yeah, that's true.
Like and now that I understand that, like I felt like it was a huge breakthrough for me at the time, and I know that this isn't even just like, well, now that I have my own comic and this is the end all be all. No, it's I know I'm going to keep on growing, so I built my project Fiendish to be something I can grow with, and just realize it's the long game. I think Miyazaki didn't direct his first movie until he was in his 40s either, so there you go.
or that you know of.
You never know with that guy.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying. That's the point. Is like I was saying before, Kirby. Nobody knew about him. Mobius. Nobody knew who Mobius was when he was Jean Giraud doing Blueberry.
Yeah.
What really got him on the map was when he changed to Mobius and started being more experimental and having all type of weird like Arzak, Inkle, and all type of comics.
Yeah.
And if people don't know, he's also a guy that's behind the designs and the storyboarding of the Alien movie with Geiger.
Geiger.
He was the guy that did the storyboard and the design for Tron. Like a lot of people didn't know that until people got to know them, and then, huh?
Yeah, he was doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
I
Like
don't know. I feel like
the fifth element is from him too.
oh, I didn't know he did Fifth Element.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so cool.
Storyboard and concept art.
He's so freaking good.
No wonder it's so good.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think you just have to like wait for that breakthrough, but it just takes freaking forever.
Mm-hmm.
So it is really frustrating. There's also a certain amount of I realize of just stop giving a shit about what other people think.
Yep.
Frankly, it's just like this is my style. This is what I want to draw. Like I don't care about what's popular now. I don't care about like pleasing anybody. I'm just gonna like Mobius when he finally started doing Arsac and Linko. It's just like I'm gonna draw the weirdest shit that I can come up with, and that's what made him famous.
Like the great already said is stop comparing yourself to other artists and compare yourself to your past self.
Yep.
It's about bettering yourself, not being better than the other.
Yep.
Just you'll go insane.
Yeah.
And you'll never achieve what you actually want. Because you're just gonna end up being a pale imitation or
you just end up copying what's already been done.
That's why, even people are like, oh, learn from comics. No, learn from real life as well. I used to walk around with a drawing pad in the metro, or subways, sorry, in subways and stuff like that, and buses. Because here we call it metro.
We get it. In New York, they call it metro too.
Oh, yeah?
So,
okay.
Yeah.
So,
I wish we had a metro.
And I would just doodle, like, people quickly doodling, like, shapes of people sitting, how they would stand and stuff like that. So it's all in my head, how people, balance their shoulders and their hips, how they would, put their feet when they're leaning.
Their personality even in the drawing.
Yeah.
That is true, even though I hate doing real life drawings. Alpha Predator, I haven't reached my final form! But none of us have. We have all yet to reach our final form. So, Betty HPS is...
I don't know. I'm turning 45 on May 1st. I think I'm about to reach it. I'm about to reach Super Saiyan.
You're about to go Super Saiyan. You almost finished your transformation. Betty HPS, I don't know what you're talking about. Someone kept you motivated with art as you went through mid to high school? Something acted as pillows. I'm trying to catch up in the chat.
Stalking. I loved your art, so I transform. Yeah.
Who is that addressed at? Is that talking to me?
Yeah, talking to you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
So I scrolled up and Betty HPS said, "I love your art, saw it transform." Honestly, she kept me motivated with art as I went through mid and high school. Irene, you.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear. That's awesome. Yes, keep on drawing. Stay motivated. That's awesome. Yay! I know, like mid to high school is rough too.
Mm-hmm.
I just on a podcast talking about this earlier, and it's like it's a really sucky feeling. Just starting out doing art or anything creative, it's much harder at the beginning, but it gets easier exponentially, and it's hard at the beginning because it's not just you're not well known. It's like you have, even if you're good as an artist, the experiences and like putting your art out there and finding your style, it takes so much time. And it's like slow torture, knowing that I want to be something and I can see my art being something great, but I just can't get there. And I know that's really rough, but man, every good artist has been through that. So if they've done that,
yeah. And most artists are never really fully happy of what they actually do.
That too, yeah.
It's one of the things that, I was wondering what they meant when somebody told Michael Turner and a few others told me, you need to understand what finished not perfect means.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, it just doesn't make sense, until I understood that. Yeah, okay. It's like I noticed one day when you make one mistake in a drawing, one mistake, and that's all you freaking see. So to you, it's disgusting, it's ugly, you want to rip it up, you want to do it again.
Yeah.
But the person that's next to you waiting for the drawings, it's freaking amazing. You go, yeah, but there's a mistake there. I don't see it.
Until you pointed it out, yeah,
Yeah,
that happens.
Yeah. Or
until you
it's
point it out, and then you're like, huh. You know, it's sometimes it's the deadline, sometimes it has to be finished with not perfect, like you said earlier. Like my friend Inkspot, like he's like sometimes he pushes colors, and somebody's like he takes something out, like one of the effects on it, like oh it's perfect, it's freaking amazing. He's like less is better for some people, yeah.
that's
Not
true.
not everybody has the same understanding or analyzing, right?
Hmm.
So that's why, for some people they'll prepare like a color that's flat, even though you rendered that color for like hours, making it pop. To them, what
Yeah.
they're expecting is that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not like more detail. Like I had this huge problem when I was starting out. I would, because I'm good at detail, and because I kind of subconsciously knew I wasn't that good at structure yet, I would cover it up with too much detail, and I knew other artists who would cover it up with like
Yeah.
you know
But like,
other things, but it's like it doesn't actually make your art better. Like
nope.
sometimes less is more, because it's about this is like
Story.
one of the best lessons that I got. It was, well, it's about story, but also it's about communication. So it's not just about, ooh, let me show off and impress you. No, especially with comics where you can't spend forever on every single panel, even though it definitely looks like I do, but I promise I don't. It's about communicating something to get it across. Because if I had to simplify this, I can simplify all of this and get it like one page done in an hour. As I've done, like, it's you have to be able to control your level, and because what's important isn't things being like looking awesome. It's the story.
yeah, but like Scooby's Con was saying, it's because we always see our own flaws, and that was what I was going to. It's like you're
Yeah.
gonna see you're gonna look at that pose of the lady there, right? And you're gonna have drawn that hand. And you're gonna be obsessing on that freaking hand 25 times because there's something off about that figure,
It already
right?
is. It already is.
You're like,
It's not.
there's
It's not.
something off, and you're like,
It's
God
not good.
damn it, right? So you get stuck into
Yeah.
it. But if you spend 5 hours into it and you have a deadline, sometimes that hand is just fine for anybody else. So that's where the
Yeah,
finish not perfect is. And
yeah,
that took me a while to understand that one.
you work on over a drawing or a page over maybe
Hmm.
an hour, maybe 5 hours. Okay, it's your timing, but you spend like double the time nitpicking at the little mistakes and try not to get
Then
things that
fixing
might
those
not
little
even
mistakes. Yeah.
be worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta let things go.
Hmm.
I think that's just an ongoing struggle. It's something. I don't know artists who don't struggle with that. Just like having to let things go.
But it's like I was trying to teach my kid about, our flaws and skills. I was trying to explain to kids last time that flaws, the flaws that we have, like being distracted by something, or all those type of flaws, forgetting stuff, or any type of flaws that you might have in life. Maturity is learning to actually manipulate yourself to correct those flaws. They never actually go away. You just learn to do with them.
That's true. Yeah.
Like you need to learn to, okay, I got that flaw, this happens, well, learn to play yourself into that trick. Stop,
Yeah.
don't lie your way out of it, manipulate your way into it.
I think the way I put it with artists is you don't like the artists have a lot of ups and downs. It's like the freelance comes and goes, and some days you'll feel like complete shit about your art. Other days you'll feel super confident, and it never stops going up and down. But what happens with time is you get used to the ups and downs, and you know that you'll survive. You know that it's going to pass, and
Like,
that's what maturity is.
it's like one of my the older girl that draws. She was asking me. She goes, like she's very like I told you, she's not very confident in her art and very shy to show it, right? And
Yeah.
she asked me. She goes, I don't understand, Sim. Why do the people that are not that good are very confident and always think they're the best? And
Oh
I started laughing. I'm like, I love you so much.
yeah,
I'm
your
like,
girl's
sweetie,
awesome.
sweetie, that's called shit talking.
I like her. I mean, I already like her, but now I love her. It was. I mean, I'm not gonna shit talk anybody, but I've definitely seen that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. But that doesn't help you get ahead in your career. Like maybe acting confident will get you a couple of jobs, but what
Well,
my professors
being confident, and being like shit talking. That's
yeah,
two different
cocky.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's much better just like hone your skills and be good. That's the lesson that I was taught was be good, nice, or fast. Pick two of the three, and then
Mm,
you'll be successful.
pretty much.
Yeah. Understand.
Good, nice, or fast. And if you're all three, then you're a superstar. But that's very hard.
Are you saying I'm not nice?
Oh, you're the best. You're so nice. You're the nicest.
I tried to resist, but that was kind of like the OD effect on the side of the table.
You couldn't resist. It's okay. You're the nicest, sir. Gosh. Putting me on the spot here.
I was just kidding.
Oh, gosh. Trap me. Trap me. Oh, it is getting late, but I really want to finish this page. Okay, I'm almost done, so I'm just gonna finish like the back of this head. Like panel 2, I don't need to pencil this more. I already know what she looks like. Oh my gosh. Backgrounds really do take forever.
See, Betty's HBS goes, I know, right? I'm already trying to let things go and not to go detailed from the early stage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, and the letting go thing, I learned it because if you're not working on one of your things, when you're done, you're done. Because if you get attached to it, they'll change stuff. They could do things, and you should just go. My job is done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't get
if they're not
attached
paying
to
you extra, focus on your work.
Mm-hmm.
And returning now to drawing advice, yeah, you gotta take it pretty much to if it works in simple silhouettes and forms, you're going through the right way. You gotta focus more on that. And if you got that right, and if you're actually telling a story with just the form, at least for illustration, yeah, you can go into details. But if you don't have that foundation, it's gonna be really tough on the long run if you already work over it.
Right, and like it depends on styles too. It's like like me, I'm a fan of a guy called 6 a.m. I love his art, and he's the one that does my stickers. Irene, remember?
Okay.
And he has if you guys know a game called Metal Slug. I was a big fan of that game. It was an arcade game, and it's very like with a big rim line around it, very cartoony, but there had tanks and guns and stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, I love that style so much.
Really detailed also.
Yeah, so it's detailed, but in his own way. And the guy worked for video games. He has a video game called Starfish, and you can get on Apple phones and stuff. And he's going to be doing a comic about it. And when I saw him doing a few fan art, because he did a few characters for indie comics and a big mock-up thing, and I'm like, dude, can you draw all my characters from the Nadverse? I want them. I want to see them like Metal Slug, please.
Yeah, you did mention the person who was doing the
and he's like, dude, I don't. He looked at me and goes, dude, you like what I do? Like, dude, I'm a fucking fan. I love your shit. He's like, I don't get it. I'm like, dude, not because I draw one style, right? That's all I love. Like I showed Irene one of my influence, and that's far from what I draw.
Yeah.
I'm a big Bruce Timm fan. It's not that detailed, but I love that stuff.
Yeah, just because you like it doesn't necessarily mean it's your style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Everybody agrees with me. Cool Metal Slug the best. Yeah.
I am missing again. Once again, I don't get a reference. Card.
Hold
on. For a gameplay video.
Yep, that's what I'm gonna check.
Wait, it's a video game?
Yeah, it's an old arcade game.
Even Yvonne knows it. It's bad. Well, it's a video
I don't know
game.
if take that as a compliment or not.
It's a compliment.
Okay.
Well, it's a video game, and I don't. I don't
There
really
you go.
play games, so
I'm gonna share
I'm
this
just kidding.
video here, and they're gonna show you the evolution of the game.
All right, let's take a look.
I'm
It's
not
really
gonna put
frantic.
audio so we can talk.
All right, let's take a look.
But this was the first game. So see what I mean? Like very cartoony outline, almost caricature with big heads, 3 fingers.
But still, the vehicles are really
Look at
Yeah.
those vehicles.
So
That's
very
really good.
roundish,
When
right?
was this made? That's
That
really
was
good pixel art.
that was in the 90s,
That's
80s,
good pixel
90s.
art.
I think it
See,
was
the
for
dates were there.
SNES,
See,
Super
hold on,
Nintendo,
96. There you go,
96.
Hmm.
96 to 2020.
Oh, everything is so cute. All the tanks bounce and everything.
Yeah, and if you go check that guy out, he goes by 6 a.m. on Twitter, and you'll see like his style looks like that, but
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what's funny? It's a funny coincidence. I've been really getting into pixel artists recently, and it's like a whole skill. It's very
And itself.
interesting. Oh my god! Oh my god! The little tension on your bird!
Freaking awesome, yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah, we won over there with the aliens. Look at her.
Cute aliens. I'm sold. There's gore or cute things, and then I'm down.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome. And now that I
Nice.
showed you this, right?
Yes. Show me more. Oh, the style for the. Oh, I see what you mean.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, it does look like that.
That's neat.
Those are all the stickers you get with my book.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like he made them. I'm like, dude, just go nuts. Just go like Metal Slug. And dude, come on.
Yeah, it looks like that.
Mm-hmm.
Is all the stickers like together in one image?
No, they're all individual, and you can make that
Oh.
own image. As
Oh,
you
I
can see
that.
here, look, they're all there.
Right, the individuals, but they're arranged in a group.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Cool. Yeah, I can see the resemblance. Well, now I know. Thank you for enlightening me. Every single stream, I learn something new about references that I don't get.
But it's a good thing that we telling because they're bringing it back in a new release. I think anthology soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Well,
you can also find it on Steam.
I do like the art style. I didn't grow up with video games, like I said, I didn't even have cable TV, so the only thing I had was manga. So like I missed out on a lot of cultural stuff. It was really weird. I had a weird childhood. Slowly learning. I wish I got I don't know, more media as a kid. Nope.
And that one's one of those classic games where you try to get as far as you can because there's no save.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh no,
So
that's so
3
great.
lives and you're done.
Yeah.
It's
So
like
on Nintendo, like on the arcade, it was by 25 cents, but on console, it was a few lives. Yeah, to try and make it to the end.
Yeah, I guess it was the rule of 3 lives, 3 tries.
Wait, or like you start over completely?
Yep. So it was like try to make it to the end, or
That's
You got
fucking-
abdominals in those thumbs after playing
Mhm.
out for a while.
so you can imagine how fun going to the arcade at night and playing those games. A whole bunch of people trying to make it till the end with the high scores, and
That does. I was gonna say that sounds brutal, and it sounds like I would love it.
you can play
sounds
2 to
fun. I
yeah.
didn't really have the arcade experience.
Mhm.
It's not really common over here.
You don't have arcades over there?
Very few. At
Mm,
least
okay.
like arcade sites dedicated to that, very
Right.
few back then. And even so,
I'm telling you, Irene, I'm kind of lucky. But
Are
in
you?
Quebec, no, but I mean like in Canada, like Quebec, it's like it was like a hub where I had access to stuff from France and a bit everywhere, right? And I'm in Montreal, so big, like it's like one of the New York
You
of
got
Canada.
manga, and you also got European comics because it's this French
Huge
speaking part.
and
And
huge
I'm so
fucking-
jealous of you.
and huge freaking arcades, like 3 flights of arcades. Yeah,
I hate you so much.
like
Yeah, I
Canada's
do
not
agree
that
with
boring.
Oh wow! Color me shocked.
No, I do agree with that because before the pandemic, I had the luck to go over Vancouver to visit out some friends and try and get on the tryouts for a few jobs over there. And it's like visiting three countries in one. It was
Hmm.
really amazing.
It is very different, like different parts of just Vancouver itself. Also, you have
Yep.
quaint little Vancouver. Where is Vancouver? Vancouver. You have like outside, like small town ish Vancouver, and then you have like Richmond,
Hmm.
which is like Hong Kong in the middle of Canada.
Oh,
It's
and
very special.
surrounded by
But
amazing scenarios.
that too, it's really beautiful. But just like also Canada in general. I haven't been to that many places in Canada. I've only been to Toronto and Vancouver, but it's really different in different regions.
See, Scooby comes. It says that at least studios are doing arcade remasters. I go, yeah, I know.
Maybe I can experience a proper childhood now.
But it was cool because it was one of the first like multiple player
I
in
see.
arcade mode. Like it was a big trend in the '90s. It came with that. Then after that, there was the big X-Men and Ninja Turtle one. So you had like four. It started with two joystick. You could play two. Then after that, it was up to four, depending on where you would go. We had all of
Mm-hmm.
those type of big arcades.
I
Like the
see.
X-Men one was huge. You could have like I think it was 5 or 6 people in that one.
Wow,
6 people. That okay?
that's a
For an
lot.
arcade, yeah.
That's awesome. We had arcades in Taiwan, but we didn't have games. We didn't have this one. I never saw this. Um, we had like old arcades because I don't know. It's like we kind of were a rinky-dink, like small town back then, so it was all old machines.
See,
DDR.
boom.
That's it.
Share my screen for a sec.
Oh
Boom.
yeah.
There you go. One, two, three,
Oh,
four, five, six.
Oh.
oh, that looks like
Oh,
so much
amazing.
fun.
And it's the old X-Men game, and it was like yeah,
I
and
didn't knew that exists. Whoa.
that's what yeah, that's that was freaking awesome. So imagine like 6 people going there and each pick a character of the X-Men and trying to make it till the end. Yeah.
Okay, my savings are going into that.
And they made a smaller one like this with just four. So
Ah, that's so cool.
but that one, come on.
Yeah, I'm sold. I never
and
get
they
bored, but at least I'll have fun.
and they had something similar like this one, a Ninja Turtle one.
Ah, that's so cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. No, we didn't have anything.
Okay,
It said it was a Japanese game.
there you go.
No, we didn't have it.
One of the craziest arcade game I ever played was I think it was a Top Gun. No, Afterburner. Okay, and it was one of those new games that came out, and there's been two different version of it, but the one that I tried was the one where you could spin all the way upside down. It was a big cocoon. You'd sit in a cocoon, right, and you'd strap with the big like a jet belt, right, an actual one, and you had a panoramic screen, but it was like 3 screens, and the capsule would spin upside down.
That's insane. I
Hmm.
mean, Slipknot put
Oh,
it out, but
that's
I didn't thought that that it was dating back
See,
then.
Alpha Protos that
Wow.
Afterburner was awesome. It was like a ride. It was a rare version. Like you had the simple one that was go left and right, a bit up and down, but the other one was built on a freaking frame, and you could go upside down. And dude, it was awesome.
I do remember one that we had over here. There were very few, but they were really notable because they had like these extra things.
Hmm.
Back then, it was one that had like an enormous sniper rifle. I don't remember the game as such, but I do remember that that thing actually scoped, and there was a small screen that appeared with the target zoom in. And actually, when you look at it, it was really weird, but it was amazing. And the other one was the Jurassic Park ones that got the car installed.
Hmm. Yeah, remember that one.
Sounds like an epic childhood that I never had. Thanks, guys, for coming on my stream and making me sad.
Whoa, okay.
I'm kidding. This all sounds very cool.
You can still live that, right?
I can't. I can dream.
No.
I choose to never grow up. Yeah, I just had like a weird child. We did have arcades, but especially, I don't know, for me, my family was very much work. Which I mean, it's it's why I have a crazy work ethic, but at the same time, yeah.
But it's like, like, to be honest, even here, like, there's like most of the big arcades had to close. There's still some that are open, but they're not as, there's not as many as there was before, especially since the console developed, right?
Right. Yeah, arcades kind of are. I don't know. I would think they're a thing that is dying just because of consoles.
But now
people are nostalgic about it.
That's what I'm saying. Now it's more of a nostalgia thing. Now you're going there and it's costing you $1 to play a game.
Yeah.
But now you can get them custom made for your house.
Oh yeah, that's also.
Oh yeah. Well, I know
the whole economy behind that.
Yeah.
Well, I know a lot of people with just arcade machines in their house because everyone I know is a nerd.
Me, I remember one day I went to not a flea market but an auction, and I was there with a friend just dropping by to pick something, right? And there was that X-Men arcade for 6 people there, and I'm like, well, hello.
Oh my god, it's gonna hurt.
And I'm like, is that going up for sale? It goes, no, it's already sold.
No!
Ah, fuck!
No!
I'm like, I missed out. He goes, how much did it go for? 5K. Oh shit! And I just fucking, okay, I'm good.
Yeah, that's insane, dude. They're gonna be like collector items someday.
Yeah, 500. Maybe I would have went all the way there, but 5K.
Yeah. That's a lot.
We're talking about one arcade that plays one game here.
I mean, how much do you love this game? Do you love it as much as you're saying? You got to prove to us. No. Money comes first.
It's the size of a mini bar.
Yeah, that is.
There's not much space.
It's like two of those, and it's like you might as well have a pool table.
Always logistics.
Which I already had one, which was fun.
Too bad we're not all rich. If only. I think I am done with this for today. Yay!
Oh, let me see.
Am I sharing my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let me erase the roughs underneath. I mean, it's good enough. This is enough for me to start inking. So, sometimes I don't even go this tight, but just the backgrounds. I always have to lay out the backgrounds, and this shaman's headdress is a real pain. I have to figure it out. Yeah. Yomi, I don't need to refine her more. I know what she looks like. She's one of my main characters. So look at the progress for today. Not bad, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna try just rocking through all the pencils and then get the inks. Because I have all the thumbnails and I'm gonna do all the pencils, and then I think that's gonna be a process this time. Hell yeah, chapter 2. It's getting done. This project is happening, guys. It's gonna happen. Because I don't want to keep people waiting too long also I'm just itching to start drawing chapter 2 because I want to get to the next thing. I'm drawing chapter 2. I was just I can't wait to draw chapter 3, and then I can't wait to draw that thing in chapter 5, and I can't wait to be done with the first arc.
Okay.
I can't wait to show people the rest of the world. And,
Okay, stop stressing. Okay, relax, take a breather, get to work, get me that book. I'm waiting for my book.
I am working. Hey! You come on my stream to make demands of me. Hold on.
trying to
Yeah,
make you chill out.
That's not possible. I think that's physically impossible. Yeah, I am actually violently shaking the table in my eagerness, but yes.
It looks freaking amazing. I can't wait to have it.
Yeah.
Keep
Whoa.
up the great work.
Thank you.
Love the dress of the shaman.
Thanks. I'm proud of the shaman. She's not super important, but I'm glad to be drawing shamans. So I'll be introducing magic in chapter 2. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. But yeah.
What? There's no magic in chapter 1?
No, technically no.
Okay, refund.
No!
What?
But there's gore. There's gore.
There is so much blood. Okay, there's a cute doggy
okay,
monster.
okay.
There's a cute doggy monster that wants to hug you.
Okay, we're good. Okay, you
It's
saved
okay.
it.
It's okay. Yeah. I kind of I wanted to introduce everything, but it's on. I know you're joking, but I feel like I have to say it's on purpose because I have too much world building. I want to ease people into things. So yeah, a little bit
Obviously,
of magic,
I'm joking.
and then how dare you? Yeah, but we'll slowly introduce the magic system, and then more of the world, and then expand to because there's a lot. But yeah, chapter 2 will be in town, and there'll be magic, and it'll be fun. Whew, yeah. Thanks for staring at me noodle at this for 2 hours or more. It was 3 hours actually. So you guys are great. Everybody in chat, you're great. I'm shocked that anybody wants to watch me do this. Continually shocked, but I'm very glad that you're here with me. Yeah, it is freaking late. I should let everyone go, and I probably need to go get some food. But
so don't forget to sub, like, and share.
Yes, this was very productive. Do you guys want to shout out your socials, your handles, anything you're working on before we go?
Nah, well.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
You're nah.
Go ahead.
So everybody follow Yvonne at Hex Savage everywhere. Okay, all right.
And Instagram, yeah.
Yes. So is it one word on Instagram?
Tell me, yeah, it's only one word.
It's one word. Okay, so his username right there, Hex Savage, and he's awesome. You saw the poster that he was doing for my project, so he's great.
Thank you.
Yes, and so give him more work because he needs more work. I'm trying to overwork you, my dude. And Sim,
yeah, I mean, I already have to go to base to a far place that people don't believe in a VPN instead of working home, so.
They don't believe in a VPN? Yeah. What the hell is they don't? Okay, we will talk about this later. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Yes, Sim. Everyone follows Sim, and you have your own YouTube channel.
Yeah, under Simon Sim Pothier, and you go sub to Sugar Chris, with who I do in the morning roast.
Yes.
And please check out Tales and Adverse.
Yes.
The colors should be done soon, and we're going to print right away.
Heck yeah, his comic Tales from the Natverse, and I am Nini, and check out my comic Fiendish, as I've been ranting about this whole stream, so I think I need to pull it up again. But
what? What's the name of it?
It's this funny comic called Fiendish. It's
what's it about?
It's about monsters, and it's about hunting for monsters, and revenge tale. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, you should check it out at fiendishcomic.com. There's a whole website that you can find more information about.
Find the link down below. Am I right?
You will find a link down below. So I'm gonna find a link in the description. It is already in the description to this video. You can click on that. It is very easy access for your convenience. And the Indiegogo has been extended, so it will end on May 21st or 22nd now. So we have another 20 or so more days to it. But that doesn't mean we can slack, because I'm trying to get to 10K. And if we get to 10K, then that means the comic will be in color. So if you want to see the comic in color, then share it. Continue to let people know about it. And if you haven't seen it, check it out at fiendishcomic.com or just search Fiendish on Indiegogo. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching and joining me today. I love you all. You guys are awesome. Join us next Wednesday at the same time, 8 p.m. Eastern, and I'll be doing another art stream.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thank you all.